Hey, what's going on, guys? This is EJ here, breathing fantasy football, literally, and we are coming to an end on the Saturday day slate. Uh, Not a great day for me. I had a huge bust in my lineup. I didn't take Rojo out, so for those watching and knew about the injury, I mean, good for you. If you faded him completely, overall good. I almost made cash in a single entry. I missed it by I think 2 points. I'll show in a little bit. We'll do a quick recap. I just want to get the stream up, and then we'll look at Sunday slate for about an hour. So jump on anytime you want. Those that want to be on the stream, just send me a message. I'll have you on. We could talk, or we can talk through the chat. All good. All right, guys. I'll see you in a little bit. I'm just gonna play some music in the background. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. All right, guys. So real quick, man, this is my single entry. I had a really good lineup besides this bust. That's oh, I mean Pittman, Metcalf, Diggs. Diggs was a lot. That was easy, but having the balls to start Beasley and Pittman, I think that's a pretty good play. I did the late swap with Logan Thomas. Um, I took some of Dan's advice and I swapped out uh, Gronk. So I had like 1,500 in the cap left over. So I put Logan Thomas. Yeah. All right, guys. I'll be back in a minute. Mic check, 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 check. Hey, 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 what's up, everybody? All right, I'm back here. Man, so this Saturday slate, oh, oh, I had some great plays. I think I was hoping on a min cash for my single entry, but I had some other cashes come in. I did like 4 lineups in the showdown for the Redskins, and I put Heineke in the captain, so that really helped. Oh, sweet. All right, I got Jake. I'm gonna put him on here. Hey, what's up, brother?
What's up, man? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Sound real choppy. Might hop on my laptop, maybe.
Oh, all right, man. Let me see. I can hear you fine. Oh, all right. He jumped out for a sec. Let's see here. All right, guys. This is the Sunday slate. I'm gonna look at it in a minute. If any guys want to take a peek at this Saturday slate, man, this guy's got to take it. Congrats to him. I missed the min cash. 895 places. I got just under 1,100. Not too bad, but really my big dud was. I wish I didn't play Rojo, of course. I mean, this combination, the Bucks Rojo combination, they're really. I mean, Godwin, I guess, but there really wasn't anybody from the Bucks. Fournette, I'd say Fournette maybe was a good play, but outside of those two guys, you didn't need a Bucks player. You didn't. So crazy. That's just the way I see it. I can look at. Pull something up there. So here's today's top plays. Heineke, oh my goodness! I'm glad I put him in a showdown in a few, but man, he got second most points. I could have made a lineup with Heineke, man. I've been talking about making lineups with Wolford. Man, I missed out on that. It was too late. The moment I thought of starting Heineke, I really was too late. I put him in 3 showdowns for 200K up top. Let's see. So I'm going to get back to that, man. Oh, this sucks. All good. It's all good. Currently winning $85. Woohoo! I got 1 out of the 4 I do, like the millionaire. I got 1 cash. We'll look at that in a minute. Look at these $15 ones. Woohoo! No Gronk. Oh, look at this lineup. I mean, it's not near the top, but man, this RJ Rat dude totally scooped first and second. That's nuts. Yo, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
I'm looking at these lineups. I just realized I didn't have the thing on, but man, I'm looking at who scooped first and second, man. This dude scooped both places. So crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah, this is a lineup that I put like 3 Heinekes and a captain, man. How nuts is that?
Yeah, I put him in the flex, but
Yeah. Man, I got a bunch of zeros today, man. Rojo got me a 0. Gronk got me a 0. And I still cashed with this lineup with a 0. That's crazy. Let's look at the Heineken lineup, man. This is the one I was really feeling. Heineke got 43 points in the captain. That's nuts. I don't know what I was on. I put Buccaneers and Washington. I put both defenses. That was a bust, but dude, this is how you set a lineup, man, in terms of you just see crazy random plays, but try and make some concept with them. Man, how'd you do in any of the slates today?
I cashed in all of them except for tonight's game.
Really?
Yeah. Let me pull it up. I know on the 3-game slate, I think if I would have faded Lockett, I would have done a lot better.
Yeah, I only cashed 1 out of 5. I did 5 total lineups in the Classic. I only cashed in 1. I missed the min cash on the single entry by 2 points. Yeah, it sucks. But
if I would have faded Lockett and took out Hines, put in Akers, and put pretty much any other receiver in, would have done a lot better, but oh well.
Yeah. I think I mentioned Metcalf a few times, but I wasn't really sold on him. But I kept telling myself, this dude hasn't caught a touchdown against the Rams. And I did say it on the stream, but, man, it doesn't matter too much. I wasn't really on Metcalf, although I did put him in the single entry. So I was glad to see 20% ownership on him, and I got 26 points. Yeah, here's the one I got in the single entry. I got 1,081st place. Just missed it. But that's the one where I was talking to you earlier. I was like, I got Pittman. I did one of Dan's moves. I swapped out Gronk and put Logan Thomas. So I really would have never came close to the min cash because I had this as Rojo and Gronk and Buccaneers D before this game started. I wish I would have swapped Rojo out because I swapped Gronk out, but I don't know. Thought I'd give you a couple minute little rant there because I know you'd appreciate. I was just sweating to get a min cash, and if Logan Thomas would have caught that fourth down pass, I probably would have got it. But
yeah,
that sucks when you're sweating for a min cash. That's the worst. Well, actually, it's good. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I had McLaren, or however you pronounce it. I've had him at captain, but
yeah. Huh. How did he do in captain? He caught like 4 or 5 balls, right?
I think he had 19 or 20 points at captain.
So that's not too much. That's like
no.
Yeah. So let's see here, man. So overall, I could have did better. There's a lot of things I think I missed. Do you know were we briefed at all about Rojo's injury, or did it just show up once the game's already started?
Well, I read he heard it like right before the game started, and it didn't get announced until like midway through the first quarter. Because my buddy texted me, he's like, "Well, where the fuck's Ronald Jones at?" And I was like, "I don't know. Maybe he's not part of the game script. First 10 plays." And the report came out. And then that Vaughn dude came out. I'm all right, something's up if that third string's in.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, what happened, man? I was like, oh, there's no way I'm gonna min cash now. I have a guy that's just gonna lay a goose egg.
Right.
It's the worst. I almost got it, but it was hard. I think we missed on Rams D, man. Like, we didn't really. That should have been an easy one, knowing how much Russell Wilson has ultimately struggled. I don't know what happened to that team, man. They look so frustrated.
Yeah, that Rams defense pretty damn good.
Yeah, but the likely scenario is that the Rams are probably going to play the Packers next week if the Saints win.
Yeah.
So if the Saints lose,
it's going to be a tough matchup for you guys.
What's that?
It's going to be a tough matchup for you guys.
Yeah, Packers can't stop the run, and look, Cam Akers looks like a legit 3-down back. I think, but he got hurt. Yeah, Cam Akers got hurt. No, Cooper Kupp got hurt.
Yeah,
and Aaron Donald.
Yeah,
I saw those two guys got hurt. So hopefully they get a recovery, but they may be still banged up. Who knows, man? We'll see. You guys may play either the Browns or there's still a few teams you guys could play.
Yeah, more than likely it's going to be the winner of the Rams-Titans game, unless the Browns can pull off the upset. But
yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, I want to see the Browns win in a way because I feel bad for their situation with their coach not being able to coach.
Right.
it's that first time that organization has been in the playoffs in like what, almost 20 years. So I'm rooting for these guys to actually beat the Steelers, but man, I don't know what to make. A player I'm on now is Jarvis Landry. Like I feel like he is going to be the guy that they have to rely on as a true number one this weekend, regardless of his matchup. I don't know anything about. I just know the Steelers. They can have a good D throughout the season, as we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I kind of like that play. Even a Mayfield stack, as sick as that is, people are going to think it could be Nick Chubb. But what's his name did good? Ryan Finley for the Bengals when they played the Steelers. I mean, I'm looking back at that thinking that he had a good game. Like, didn't Baker Mayfield have a good game? Regardless of seeing first the best pass defense that the Steelers have. So I'm okay with that. I just feel like
Mayfield be low owned. So everybody's gonna be on Lamar and probably Big Ben, maybe probably Tannehill.
I love Lamar, man, but what if he has if he don't get you Josh Allen numbers today and he gets you more Tom Brady numbers, then that's not good. If Lamar gets you 18, 20 points, even though they could win, I think they'll beat the Titans.
Yeah, I mean they should, but I don't know.
I mean, it'd be foolish to fade Lamar Jackson, but if you're going to go down, you could buy so low at Mayfield and then maybe still play Henry. I'm still on the fade Henry, but there's times where it could make sense. Especially if you're going to pay low at Mayfield.
Yeah.
You get that low ownership, at least. I think that's the correct way to say it. So this Duvernay, I don't need him. I don't know how much I feel about Michael Thomas. I think it's a great price. I feel like it's just going to be one or the other. Either Kamara goes off or Michael Thomas. I mean, they both could go off. I was on Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams last week when they played the Bears. And they both got a touchdown.
Yeah. I'm playing Thomas and probably like 90% of my lineups because that's his man.
Yeah. What about Thomas and Kamara with no Drew Brees?
Yeah. I made a couple already. Yeah, I got Kamara and Thomas and both of them in.
Yeah. I think I'm going to roll with Landry like I was saying.
Yeah. I'm so high on that Washington guy from Pittsburgh. I still think he might.
That's a good play.
Could get a sneaky touchdown. And I seen Mooney's out for the Bears, so
I think that puts 3,300 Anthony Miller in play, even though he's not. He's like a very streaky player. He can get you like 15. His ceiling's not that good. 17 is best. Yeah, his ceiling's like 15 points in this game. I mean, I don't know. He could have like a Steven Sims game. That dude went off towards the end here. But I don't know what to make of it.
I got a buddy who's a diehard Bears fan. He was telling me they might run more 2 tight end sets.
I like Komet. I'm not too big on Jimmy Graham. I think I don't know. I get it that Dan was making a case for a revenge game, but to me that didn't work last week against the Packers. I don't think that means anything for Jimmy Graham.
Nah.
If they get near the end zone, they'll look for him, but I don't see them utilizing him throughout the game. I think it's going to be the Cole Kmet for $3K. I think here, if I go with Kmet and let's say we did the Washington play, I can get like still a good flex. I don't know what defense I want to go with here. What if the Ravens just don't show up again? Lamar Jackson can never play in the playoffs. He's just atrocious. Like there's a spell casted on him or something, man. I know that's just stupid talk, but I mean, what if he goes out here and doesn't have a good game? We could totally see that happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's at home for Tennessee. They know that people view them as an underdog in this game, and they're the cheapest defense. I know the Ravens they're mostly all healthy, but what if the Titans stop these guys? I feel like no one's gonna have the Henry Titans stack.
No.
That's just suicide right there.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you don't have no if I don't do any Ravens players, then this could make sense to a certain degree. So 6,600, I guess I could get Dobbins, but I can go back and get both Bears receivers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's a reach, man.
Yeah.
But I like it if I'm going to play the top two running backs of the week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you can buy low at like what's low. I guess fading one or the other, you can get Montgomery. Is there a running back you like?
Yeah, I mean, Saints defense, they stopped the run pretty well. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they'll still give Montgomery 20, 25 carries, but I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like that Saints D is only going to put up like 7 points.
Yeah.
There's just something telling me that. I don't know, man. I'm starting to get this feeling like the Titans D is the sleeper that people don't see coming. Like they can get you 10 points maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're terrible. Everyone knows how bad, but how much does Lamar really throw the ball to beat the Titans in the air?
Right.
We know that's not his game script, even though he can do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking Browns. That's kind of the sneaky defense. I mean, Pittsburgh, they don't score a lot of points if you think about it.
Yeah, the only reason I don't like the Browns is because the Steelers just played them and they played them rested.
Right.
And they played them rested. A lot of these guys didn't even see the field. They're going to come out there and be probably the Steelers team that whooped their butt 10 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I hope that, like I was saying, I hope the Browns win for the sake of me just wanting to see it. I just don't see it. I'm personally avoiding the Browns D. I felt like they had their chance last week against resting players, and they really couldn't do it. They almost lost that game.
Yeah. Yeah, between the Saints, Steelers, and Ravens, that's probably 70% combined ownership right there, I bet.
Yeah. Well, I like this lineup. It's not – I really don't like it, but I like it that it's different. And
I mean, you got
no one's going to have this lineup. So,
you got three or four like chalk guys: Henry, Kamara, Thomas, and probably Robinson.
But then I still get Landry and I get Komet, and the sleeper is Washington.
Yeah.
But he could be called on if Mayfield has a good game. They'll look for what. So it makes sense in the terms of why I'd go there. I don't think you need another Cleveland receiver. I mean, you can make a case for Higgins. I like Higgins too. But I think this could work just here with these two guys. I don't know. I like it. I'm a save it. If you want, we can look at another one and go over the receivers.
Yeah.
I like this kind of stream, man. I appreciate you coming on and just bouncing ideas off, and I hope some of the things I say help you in a lineup too, man.
Yeah.
I don't really know of any plays that I really gave that were locks for this Saturday slate. I think I was really on the Buck stack, and then I swapped it out. Yeah, I was on Jonathan Taylor, who I can't believe he stayed in the game that much, man.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. I was like, come on, where's Hines? Then Hines had a couple good runs. I was hoping for that 100-yard bonus, but
yeah. Yeah, I can't believe he got his points on runs and not.
But I was right about the Colts tight ends. I knew one of them was gonna break the slate.
Oh, I know, man. Like why were I mean, in all reality, Mo Alley Cox wasn't a bad play. That's what's crazy about that. He didn't get you great points, but the fact that he almost got a touchdown, and it's just I think if Doyle would have went down with an injury, Mo Alley Cox would have got all those points. It's just the way that script looked, because he was catching some deep passes too. But yeah, that Jack Doyle play, that was just straight solid, man.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to take a peek real quick and look at the Millie winner, because I did 4 in that, and this is the one I cashed in. It's not that great, but I didn't get stuck with Rojo.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the one I had Mo Alley Cox in. That's pretty cool. So let's see. The $1 million lineup is MLB Pros. Congratulations. You had Josh Allen, Nuts, Fournette. What an amazing play. Akers. I wasn't on Akers. I was trying to fade him. Metcalf, Diggs, Pittman. And he could have did better at the tight end here.
Yeah, he could have had Doyle because he was way cheaper.
Yeah, but that's just a weird look. That's so crazy, man. I make lineups like this all the time where this dude had a bunch of money sitting left over, I bet. Maybe not. I forgot I saw Godwin here at the flex. Man, that's crazy. And there's no play that I have that's better than his. Yeah, congrats, man. So let's see here.
Washington's defense, they're only like 8 or 9% owned and got 6 points. I mean, I guess I'll take it.
Yeah, they did good for giving up 30 points. It's hard to get 6 points on the team.
And they had a blocked field goal. Which
is that 2 points? Nice. So let's see here. Let's look at another lineup. I'm going to just go into one that I did and reanalyze it and see how it makes sense or if it don't. I was really on Lamar Jackson with this one. With Gus Edwards. I think Gus Edwards is a good play.
Yeah, I did a few $5 lineups. So this guy, he took 2nd place, 4th place, and 5th place. $10,000, $2,000, $750.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean,
what is max entries for that? 150?
Let me see. Yeah, it was 150.
Yeah.
I seen Osimo. He finished because he was at the top for a while. Yeah, he finished 62nd, and he had Ronald Jones.
No way.
Yep.
Dang, and he finished 62nd in a big tournament with a big 0 by Ronald Jones.
Yep.
That's nuts.
Yeah, he still got 176 points. I'm looking at his lineup now.
Dude, you know what that just confirms? That the Rojo play was never announced. Because if Asimo,
30, he was
if
34.
he had him,
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah, he was still 34% owned. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But that makes me good. I feel good now knowing that I could have never swapped out Rojo if there was an injury.
Because that was like, what was it, week 2 when the Chiefs played the Chargers when Herbert made his debut?
Yeah.
Because I was watching it, I seen Herbert was on the field, and I was like wasn't announced or anything until, after the first drive. It's like, that's just stuff.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, because Tyrod Taylor got this long punctured or whatever. It was like 5 minutes before the kickoff.
Yeah, that was nuts. Oh, my bad. I forgot I still had this thing on the chat. Man, I don't see these things sometimes. I just took off my comment. Yeah. That's crazy, man. I think one of us will hit it, man. We both have good ideas on players. Like you had the right tight ends. You had the group right for the Colts. We just couldn't narrow it down to the most optimal play and just go with that. Because when you tell me Mo Alley Cox, I think about it and then I'm like, boom, he's going in. He'll go in a big lineup. I had him in the single entry, but I swapped him out for Pittman instead. I was like, let me try something different. But man, I wish I would have said, let me try Jack Doyle instead. I definitely would have got it.
What I told you last night, I just made 3 lineups, like all the same, and then I just swapped. Had like Doyle in one, Burton, and then Cox. I was like, well, one of these is going to score a touchdown or something. And I cashed with the one in Doyle, got my money back. So, I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of like doing that strategy, make a lineup, and then if you're like 50-50 on a couple of guys, just swap them out, put a couple different guys in. That's what I like doing.
Yeah. Man, I want to see something here. I want to. So outside of Henry and Kamara, could James Conner be an intriguing play where they actually use him like 20 snaps and just give him a big workload?
I don't know.
I think he'll be low owned. I mean, I don't want to make a case for him, but if you want to make a low owned play that really isn't on anyone's radar, I don't think people want to play James Conner. The first thing that comes to mind is Henry and Kamara, and boom, you're locked up at running back.
Yeah, I know.
There's so many better running backs.
Always high on him. It seems like.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I remember a couple of weeks ago he was bragging about Connor, or it might have been Chris. I don't remember.
I think it was Chris too. Hey, what's going on, Adib? Yo, what you guys like tomorrow as far as plays and predictions? To recap, I did a unique lineup where I said, what if Lamar Jackson doesn't have a good game? Like, what is the alternative to that? And I think that means Derrick Henry blows up. And then you go Titans D. That's my unique play. I don't know. So I want to see here, not going Henry and Kamara. I may end up swapping them back in. But, man, James Conner, he could literally be the Cam Akers play in terms of volume and getting 100 yards. He got 100 yards against these guys in the big win in week 6. This dude has to be on people's radar.
What about
I know it's not saying much because he's That was a long time ago.
What about Snell?
Yeah, I don't think there's any way you can play Snell. Connor. Nah, you can't roll this guy in a classic. That would be suicide.
Well, funny story. It was week 1 when they have the 2 Monday night games.
Uh-huh.
I played Snell because I work with a guy. He's a diehard Steelers fan, and he was telling me, he's like, I feel like we're going to use Snell more this season. So I picked him, and then Connor got hurt. He was 2% owned, and I had a sweat because I was in like top 50 up like $1,000. I played whatever the big tournament
Nice.
was. But of course, I had Henry, and he didn't do shit for me. So
Oh, really?
yeah, and I think if I would have subbed out Henry, and then I didn't have Noah Fant because I picked the wrong tight end too. Yeah, I was so pissed.
Well, Henry got you 19 points, but yeah, I guess that wasn't as optimal.
But I think Melvin Gordon, he got more.
Yeah.
I think I don't remember. Like I said, that was months ago. I don't remember who else I had, but
Nah, man, I kind of like to feel. I love when we get sweats, and then I don't mind if we fall short. It's all part of the game, man.
yeah, because Snow week 1, he had the 100-yard bonus. Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, I saw that.
I want to say he scored more than Henry. I could be wrong, but on week 1.
But there's something up with him. They're just not using him. He hasn't shown much since James Conner been back.
Yeah, go to week 1 on him.
Oh, yeah, I was just on him. Let me see here. Whoop. Yeah, he had 19 touches.
Yeah, 4. Yeah,
But since then,
for a 2-game slate, he was like 2% owned. Yeah.
dude, he's going to be 2% owned tomorrow.
Oh, definitely.
That is a crazy play, man. Don't talk me into playing Benny Snell now.
Yeah, I'm not
No,
getting
you're good.
anything, but
It is a very intriguing play. It's like playing Alfred Morris like 3 weeks ago when he caught 2 touchdowns.
because the Steelers, they throw to their running backs too, that Samuels and that McFarland dude, but one of those will probably be inactive tomorrow. But I mean, they're kind of like the Colts in a way. They just throw whoever's open. They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't feed just one specific person.
Why am I starting to think that Benny Snell could actually get a touchdown here and like some points, like 14, 15 points?
Yeah, I don't know.
But man, there's just so many better running backs on this slate. It's hard to. I think I'll play Benny Snell in a showdown.
Yeah. They also have a 2-game slate for the afternoon game and the Steelers game. That might be
and that's probably a good one too, because
that'll probably be a safer option if you want to pick him, because with Baltimore got Dobbins and Edwards, those are guaranteed, and then Tennessee obviously Henry, and then with the Saints you got Kamara and Murray. So I mean,
yeah, that's a good case. I think I'll try. I'll throw a lineup in that one with the Snell play. That's a good idea. It's good to think. I didn't even look at the 2-game slate for tomorrow, so I'll make a lineup and throw it in there. But yeah, man. So this lineup was saying it's the anti of what I just said about Lamar Jackson. It pretty much says Lamar Jackson's going to blow up. Is there any sneaky Ravens player you like other than Lamar Jackson?
maybe Snead.
Is he playing?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I haven't. Let's see.
Man, he's a great low owned play. He's just so risky.
Yeah.
But I think you can put this guy in a lineup. You have you'll be able to see, since it's the first game on the slate, if you need to swap him out real quick.
Yeah.
You know what? I like that play. I want to find a way to fade Andrews or Hollywood Brown. Andrews, he's due. Like he hasn't had a big game, and I'd hate to fade him, and he's the top tight end on the slate, even though he's going to be chalk.
Yeah.
But let's say we do fade him and we go.
Yeah, I like Ebron just a little bit more than Andrews because
This price, yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, yeah, Price and Big Ben, he's going to throw it 40, 50 times, more than likely.
Yeah, I like this play. I have him in a couple other lineups as well. Yeah, they're gonna use him. I can see him getting like 8 to 10 targets, and they're meaningful targets. Maybe 2 of them in the end zone.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good play. Let's plug it in there. Can we fade Hollywood Brown if we play Lamar and go with Snead instead? I like the Snead play for a receiver. It's like the Pittman play.
Yeah, I like Gus Edwards too. If you want to go cheap on running back, he's probably the safest cheap running back option.
Yeah.
Because he'll get his 10, 13 carries like he usually does.
Yeah, he should. It's just crazy how much could Dobbins. So the way I'm trying to see it, it doesn't make sense, but maybe it's a rookie's mindset. Like, will this dude have another big game back to back? It's his first time in the playoffs. What if he struggles a little bit? Like, what if he has a game like Jonathan Taylor minus the touchdown? He gets like 20 touches and like 60 yards. Like, I could see that. That's a possibility too. I like the Gus Edwards play.
Yeah, he'll probably be 20, 30% owned. I wouldn't be surprised.
But to play Gus Edwards and Lamar Jackson in the same stack, that's he does catch a few balls. Not lately, he's caught a few balls as well, and they're deep passes. So I don't know what they are. Maybe just rolls out of the backfield.
Yeah,
I don't know, but those passes he caught, they're intriguing. I mean, if this guy gets you like 70 yards and a rushing touchdown and like 2 catches for 40 yards almost, that's a great play.
Yeah.
That's 6 points plus. Yeah, that's like 18 points. Getting 18 from Gus Edwards would be a ceiling play, I'd say. But I'm gonna keep him in here. I just don't know if I want to keep Lamar Jackson. I guess I could keep him. We'll keep him for now.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do like a few Raven stacks and think about doing some like a Steelers stack too. Cause I just don't see Cleveland winning tomorrow. I really don't.
I don't either. I think there's too much. I don't know, man. I'll keep going back to saying I hope they do, but I just don't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking like a Lamar, and then one of the running backs, and then pick like Ebron and either Juju, Johnson, or Claypool, one of those guys, and then pick a couple Saints players maybe.
Juju, man. Juju hasn't been the same since he started dancing on fields and stuff.
Yeah. That's
And
crazy. He's only like, what, 22, 23 years old? That's crazy.
Yeah. I remember he came in the league. He was like 19 or something.
I don't know how that's possible.
Was he the one that got his bike stolen at one? I remember hearing it on Monday night, how they said he rode his bike to the camp. I don't know if it was him. It might have been another player, but I remember it was a very young player that was a rookie. But that's crazy. Yeah, he's got a unique attitude. I don't mind him. It's just I don't know how much he wants to be in the spotlight of TikTok and his videos. I mean, he's a celebrity. That's what celebrities like. They like that. They like that kind of recognition. I totally get it. But it could mess up your game, man. Your game flow. You may not. Because I think when you get out there, sometimes it's hard to just tune out this celebrity personal side and focus straight on the game, man.
Yeah.
Because maybe that's what happened to Dwayne Haskins. He just got too caught up in the being rich and famous. But sorry, I got on a tangent with that. I like talking philosophical.
I agree.
Hey, what's up, Dan? Hey, if you want to jump on, you can, man. I sent you a link, email. Dan, you had a good call. He called Cam Sims, and I think he said Pittman. Yeah, you said Pittman.
In the chat, yeah.
Yeah, I like those plays. That's why I went back to Pittman. I threw him in the single entry, but I didn't cash. I came within 2 points. Came close in the $3 entry today. Very nice. I take it you had Pittman and Cam Sims in there.
Yeah. I faded Pitt. I put Pascal in, but he got the touchdown, so.
Finished 100 plays. Congrats, man.
Nice.
You must have had like a 185 lineup, 190. That's pretty impressive. Man, I want to get a deep run, but I just want to have fun with it. It'd be nice to get a good sweat at least one more time this year, man.
Yeah, in that Rams Seahawks game, if I would have played Woods instead of Lockett, I would have finished a lot higher.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at the lineups above me, and almost everybody had like almost the same lineup. It was crazy.
Were Woods and Lockett similar price range?
Yeah, I think Woods was a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, 188 points. That sounds about right.
Because I finished 1,004th out of 23,000 people, and I was only 22 points from first. It was because of Lockett. Oh, and I had Hollister. He gave me a goose egg. So, but I mean, to finish, to over double your money and have a goose egg, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, I agree, man. I cashed in a few goose eggs as well, but it wasn't pretty. Yeah, Dan, I don't think me or Jake got any deep runs this Saturday slate. I know Jake cashed more than I did, but it's all good. So I don't know who I want to plug as a second running back. I feel like I want to buy high here. Maybe go Kamara or Henry. I feel like Kamara is the safer play way up top. I could see Kamara getting like 10 targets, man. They're just if he's gonna play, they're gonna just throw him in there.
Oh yeah.
I don't think there's no COVID safety. Like they're like, well, we're gonna take advantage of Kamara as much as we can because after this game, if he gets COVID, we may not get him the next game.
Yeah.
So I know I'm just saying he shouldn't get it again, but you just never know. The whole close contact stuff, man, that just sucks.
Yeah.
It really has. It hasn't been that bad this week. I did send you an invite, Dan. Let's see. You might have to check your email. Any sneaky receivers other than Michael Thomas? Is Jared Cook in play? I mean, he's always in play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like with Thomas coming back, he's just going to get majority of the targets, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like Kamara and Thomas should be locks, man. The Bears, they do not belong there as much as I don't want the Bears to win.
Mm-hmm.
No way, man. Then the Packers play the Bears. I don't want that scenario. So I think the Saints take care of business.
Mm-hmm.
Bears don't belong. So I like the Kamara and Michael Thomas. I feel like those should be just locked in. Like you won't make it on the millie without this combo, especially if they get you 60 or 50. I'll say 50 points together. If they give you 50 points together, you're not going to be on that in that top 1%. Hey, I see you, Dan. I'll get you on in 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's going on, man?
What's good, man? What's happening?
What's up, man?
Well, not much.
I finished 121st, not 107th in that turn. The 75,000 the first, man. I finished 107th in the 50-cent entry they had today.
Oh, nice.
Both of them. One was 188, one was 184. But you guys had the right call on it. It had no Pittman. Actually, I swapped and went to Cameron Brate.
Oh, Brate was good too.
Yeah, I had Allen, Josh Allen, Akers, Taylor, Beasley, Diggs, Godwin, Brate, Cam Sims, and the Rams defense. But the highest scoring one I had of the day was that was the highest one. The other one, you were right. It had Pittman, Doyle. I had a Doyle play, and he had 22 points.
Yeah, that was solid. How many, Dan, mind if I ask, how many lineups do you do?
Today I did, let me pull it up here. So today I did today's $3 entry. The 20 max, I did 20. The 50-cent entry for today, I did 20 of those, like $10. And then the weekend, the Saturday and Sunday $3 entry, I did 20 of those. So I did like 61 lineups on Draftkings for this weekend and 27 on FanDuel. That FanDuel one I snuck into, man, I got lucky. It had a bunch of overlay. Out of 60,000 people, only 41,000 entrants showed up. So I snuck as many lineups as I could in that.
I got to check it out. I may pop in. I played FanDuel like 5 years ago.
What I like about FanDuel is you don't have those bonuses, man, the 100, 300-yard rushing, and you don't have that bonus. You know, it's easier to project when you don't get 3 points for 100 yards or 3 points for 300 yards.
Right, that really.
And they only do half-point PPR, so it catches only half. I got a lot of those live left.
Yeah,
going until tomorrow. I mean, they had a tournament today. It was, a 26,000 person turn. I hit 887th in it, but it didn't pay out anything, like $20 on 9. I spent, I guess, those 60 entries. You asked what I entered 135 today, and I've cashed out 265. So, but I still have about 20 lineups remaining through tomorrow. So.
Nice. Yeah,
So
that's good, man. I'm glad you made a little profit. Or
yeah, little. I haven't had a big profit yet. Like I say, even last week or 2 weeks ago when I finished second, like it was only $600, but it was a $5 entry. So I guess it was a good markup. I just, I had like 20 of them, so I had $100 into it.
nice.
I'm
Very
looking forward to tomorrow though. I got a couple left. I got one. I'm in 700 place, and I still got 3 spots to play tomorrow. Right now, I'm settled on Kamara, Robinson, and Rashad Higgins.
Oh,
Just
those
because
are pretty good.
Mooney's out, Robinson's going to get 15 targets tomorrow.
Yeah, I think so.
Kamara's not going to get a whole bunch of targets with Michael Thomas coming back. I think Thomas is going to eat, and he's too cheap. I might come off Kamara and go to Thomas, but Thomas is chalk tomorrow.
Yeah.
Robinson's low. Robinson's 12% is what they got him projected for the slate. So
that's real low, man.
Well, that's for the Saturday and Sunday one, though, not just the Sunday. The Sunday he'll be like 30, 35.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I like those Saturday, Sunday ones because you can make all your late swaps to adjust for what you need.
Right.
And like that's what I did today. Like I'm not kidding you, man. I had Allen, Akers, Diggs, and Pittman in like 35 out of my 63 lineups I made on DraftKings. So I get to late swap all of those. Like that's 35 lineups where I had the perfect stack at bring back and a top running back, and that's 30, like 30 chances where I can just throw darts at any random player, make sure I don't have the same sequence. So I just need one of those to hit.
So Dan, what is your overall take on lineup strategy? Like I don't really talk about this much, but I started doing maxing out of the $3.20s. But then after I've been talking with Chris, he's a guy I had on the show throughout the season. I kind of been just narrowing it down to like 2 to 5 lineups. Man, I feel like I want to go back to setting at least 20 again and do it in a smaller.
I mean, it's goofy as it sounds, man. Like you said, you've been watching football for a long time.
Yeah.
Like you got to build a story. Like for instance, like the lineup I had today, the one that had Sims and Brait in it. Like a lot of people don't come up on those plays. Well, since I went with Beasley and Diggs and Taylor, I had to put Allen in that lineup. I had 2 of the Buffalo, wide receivers.
Yeah, I get it.
I did that with the comeback. And then once Akers hit as well, I was in a situation like you always want to pinpoint what you have. When they hit off early, like I was at like 100 points off of 1, 2, 3. I was a little over 112 points off of 4 players. And they had the exact same remaining lineups for the afternoon and the late,
Mm-hmm.
So since I had a bunch of lineups that were the exact same, I went down, the first 2, I scratched out the first wide receiver. I put Tyler Lockett, the one right next to it, DK Metcalf. So all I had to do was have one of them hit, and one of them was going to move forward. And that's what I kind of like to do. Like if you're set on a stack that you like in these 20 max, like for next week, I mean, Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers are going to be super, super chalk. But if you enter 20 contests and you do 8 lineups of all Adams and Rodgers, and that's because that'll probably be an early game. The Packer game, I don't think it'll be a primetime game because they're going to have a low seed opponent. But then you know what to do to adjust throughout the day on just the daily ones, unless you're good at doing projections. But find a story in it, like I knew with the Buffalo Bills game like that. If I still wanted to take Godwin no matter what, well, if Godwin was going to get there, somebody else on Tampa Bay was probably going to have a good game. I couldn't take Brady. That Ronald Jones stuff, that screwed a lot of people today.
Yeah, screwed me, man.
Yeah, I mean, I had him in some lineups, and they're drawing dead. I had Gronk. I late swapped to Gronkowski in one, and it was one of my highest scoring ones.
Dude, I late swapped Gronkowski for Logan Thomas, and he almost got me a min cash in my big single entry.
I don't think I owned Logan Thomas on one lineup between FanDuel or DraftKings this week. I mean, he was just so chalk. Like he played well. That Cam Sims thing, man. It was just in my head. He's so tall, dude. Tampa Bay's terrible against, receivers. I mean, Because, I don't think Cam Sims had 20 points one time. I know Jack Doyle didn't have 20 points at all this year.
No.
That was luck. I will say that Jack Doyle, that was just completely luck. I don't think on that one, I could fit in, Tyler Higbee or something like that.
I was messaging EJ last night. I told him one of those 3 tight ends were going to break the slate.
But did you notice that? One of those 3. But did you watch that Seahawks game today?
Oh, yeah, of course.
I mean, Hollister was on the field for 75% of the snaps.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That killed me. He was out there more than Olsen wasn't out there at all.
6 targets.
Olsen was a good
drops, man.
But, Hollister's he's their pass catching tight end as far as I'm concerned. Now I think Olsen's done.
Oh, yeah.
He's
in the field.
I just got to figure out what to do with some of these lineups tomorrow, man. I got one of these rollover slates from today and tomorrow, and all I've played is Akers, Hines, and Diggs in the Rams defense. So I'm off to a good start because the Rams defense saved that Hines thing. So who are you guys playing tomorrow in that Baltimore game? Because Tennessee's going to give up 150 yards to a receiver probably in that game. And it's going to be Snead or it's going to be Brown, but I think it'll be Snead.
Yeah.
He might not get 150, but Snead can have.
Mm-hmm.
What did I tell you yesterday, EJ? I thought Pittman was going to get 100 yards and a touchdown today, man. He had 91 yards. I'm sitting there. I'm like, come on, man. Because that guy, he got to 12 points in the first quarter, and then he finished with like 15.
Yep.
Who was your guys' best play of the day? What was your best lineup?
This one, 144. I only did 5 lineups.
Oh, okay. 140. Man, somebody only hit 203.
Yeah, that's first place.
See, I hit like 230 one time, man, and it was in a low count, but that's about the highest I've ever got. Usually about 180. You can hit 180, 190 if you're lucky and win a small tournament, like small amount of entries.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, my best lineup was 260. And I got 25th place. It was last year.
Was that in a Millie Maker?
Yeah, it was $3. 100K to first, $3.
I entered. I took like 35th in that 2 years ago, and I think the payout was like 350 is all it was for 35th.
Yeah. I got 25th for 1,000.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And when I played that, when I hit that week, I didn't know. That was the week I didn't know anything about percentages or any of that, but I remember that week like it was yesterday. It was when Travis Kelce got thrown out of a game for throwing a flag at a referee a few years ago, if you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
I see the Kansas City, are you a Kansas City fan?
Oh, yeah.
I remember when he acted like he was throwing a flag and he got booted out of that game, and I was like, oh, shoot, man, because I had a tight end that put up like 16, and the only guy I had to worry about was Kelce, and he got tossed.
Really?
Man, they're going to be scary next week, too. I'm feeling Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams are going to be chalk, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be.
I mean, I think, I'm going with MVS maybe, though. He's got that deep threat, and, he's going to be cheap. He's going to be $4,000 max on DraftKings.
Yeah, MVS is a good play, but man,
you find one of those $4,000 guys to get you 20 points though and get 5 times value, man, you're golden because you can mess up in 2 spots if you do that.
I think if the Rams end up playing the Packers, that's going to be kind of a tough game for the Packers.
Yeah.
I'm such a Packers fan, man. I don't think anything's going to slow him down. I mean, Aaron Rodgers threw 48 touchdowns this year. Like
Adams is going to do his thing, but if you want to pick MVS, I mean, I don't know.
Well, that's what I was saying is with the because Jalen Ramsey's going to be on Adams if that happens.
Oh yeah,
and you got Lazard. Who's the other cap they signed? I know Green Bay brought in Tavon Austin. He could be sneaky if he plays.
Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Packers have the best running backfield, I think, in the playoffs right now.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know Baltimore, man. They got 3 running backs there, man. Not counting Ingram.
Oh, yeah. So do the Packers. They got Dillon.
Jackson, Edwards, and Dobbins. They all go for 80 yards every. All 3 of them get 80 yards every game. Which one was going to get the touchdown? Which one was that?
It's a Russian touchdown.
Yeah. Who are you guys playing for tomorrow?
So I have a few lineups. I was a lineup I just did with Jake. I was trying to say, what if Lamar Jackson doesn't have a good game? Oh
God, Tennessee's terrible defense. Tennessee can't stop it. They wouldn't have been able to stop that freaking what's his name? That kid that was warming up for Heineken that was going to come in off the bench. They wouldn't have been able to stop him if he was playing him.
But bro, there's one thing. Lamar Jackson hasn't done it yet in the playoffs. So he still has that chip to get off his shoulder. Yes, he should do it tomorrow, but if he doesn't do it, man, everyone's going to be like, wow, Lamar just had a bad game, even though Tennessee D didn't really do too much. I know everyone wants to be on Lamar Jackson. I feel like we can make a case that he may not be the top QB on the field.
Yeah, I know. It's just like Tennessee, they've allowed like 90 points over the last 2 games or something like that, man. I know one of those was the Texans. I know the Texans aren't great, but I mean, anybody on 10, I think, what was that Texans-Titan game? That was like a 40-40 game last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
The Packers before that, I just remember the Packers before that, they killed them. They just killed the Titans.
But the only thing I have to say is it's a home playoff game for the Titans. That may be something that sparks them up, man. I'm a contrarian guy. I love to think of the opposite. And there is a chance that this could be a game where Lamar Jackson could struggle because he hasn't shown it yet in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that Jackson can struggle. Tennessee's, they're just as bad against the run as they are against the pass. You can kill them either way. That's kind of the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it was A.J. Dillon who ran off for like 140 yards on him.
Yeah.
That's a way to break into the league.
The snow really, I think, messed up Tennessee. I don't think they were game planning for it.
And I think weather's all pretty good for tomorrow, isn't it? Let me pull up here. I'm going to go to just the Sunday slate and see who the low percentage plays are tomorrow.
Yeah, go. I appreciate it. Yeah, man, look into it.
Baker's the cheapest owned quarterback by a lot.
I like Baker Mayfield. I have him in the other line.
I like Trubisky. Trubisky's only 12%, and he's cheap. And it's easy with Trubisky. It's easy. It's Jimmy Graham and Allen Robinson. Make 4 lineups of Jimmy Graham and Allen Robinson, and you might have 60 points easy. Wow, Breeze is coming in at 16%. I think Breeze is high. That would make me go to Trubisky even more because Breeze is coming in at 16% owned.
That's not that high, right? 16?
I mean, let's see. You got Jackson at 30%, Tannehill 14%, Breeze 16%, Trubisky 12%, Mayfield 9%.
No, wait. Hold on one second. Are you talking about the 3-game slate or the 2-game slate for tomorrow?
The 3-game slate.
Really? No. Lamar Jackson's only at 30%?
Because he's 9,300. You got to think he's got to get 36 points for you to win a tournament. For you to win a tournament, he's got to hit 36 points for you to feel comfortable for him to be in your tournament lineup.
You're talking FanDuel though. I'm not.
Oh yes, I'm glad you said something because I'm not playing on. I'm taking that 250 I won off DraftKings tonight. I'm gonna leave 60 on there and do 20 lineups tomorrow. Let me switch over to DraftKings. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But on DraftKings, he's 7,800, so he's got to get you. He's still got to get you 31 points, but he's projected for 25. He's 30% owned on DraftKings on the 3-game slate.
That's my opinion.
Really?
And Breeze is higher. Breeze is 17.5. Roethlisberger's 20%. Tannehill 9%. So, and if you're contrarian, man, Tannehill's only 9%. You want to be different. Play Tannehill. Find out who's cheap with that. Yeah, I knew Jonnu Smith was going to be chalk. Yeah, don't play Jonnu. Even though he's cheap, he's he's 3 times as owned as Cook, twice as owned as Ebron, twice as owned as Hooper.
Hey, Dan, there's something I'm just not feeling is correct with the way we're presenting these projections, because Josh Allen was 60% owned. Like, I could see Lamar Jackson having that same kind of ownership that Josh Allen had today. Like, people are going to be on Lamar Jackson the way they were on Josh Allen. And he was
I'll tell you, I mean, I'll be honest with you, man. I
just don't I don't understand it completely, because Diggs is 68% owned in the middle.
And they had him at 68.7 is what they had him projected at. So they had Diggs at 68.7, Godwin they had for 28.6. I mean, Metcalf, do you have who do you have on your lineup there? It's kind of small.
That was a bad lineup.
All right, I'm on my phone instead on YouTube. Who do you have on that lineup? I'll look at some of their projections.
It's not really an impressive one. Josh Allen, 58%. Chris Carson was 30. Hines was 24.
Yeah, they had Carson 38. They had Hines projected at 23.2. They're always within a few percent.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because you think about it, some of those lower plays today, man. I mean, Pittman was he was like 4 point something.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Jonnu's going to be, they got him projected for 20%. So he'll be, I would almost guarantee 16 to 24.
Yeah.
Because they're always really, really, and that's what I've noticed. My money line is gone. You know, I used to break even every weekend. I'd be like, oh, I won. And I'd break exactly freaking even. And when I started checking out the ownership, but when I started calculating an ownership percentage, I started profiting each week, even if it's 40, 50, 100, 150. Instead of breaking even every slate, I was, pretty far ahead.
Yeah, ownership is a big thing to be aware of.
Like wide receivers are everywhere tomorrow.
What do they have Washington and Komet at?
The running back James Washington.
Yeah.
Probably 1%. Let me check and see.
I like him. Pittsburgh, they run 4 or 5 wide sets all the time.
I would like James Washington if Claypool didn't have 20 points in each game against the Browns this year. He's probably going to have 20 again. They got James Washington at 0.9%. So he's going to be under 5%. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who else you got? Well, you can look at Anthony Miller now too, with Mooney out. He's cheap. I mean, he's really got to get you 6 catches for 60 yards, and he pays off 4 times his value. What do they have him projected at, though, now? They got him
like 15?
No, 6 right now, and it was updated at, yeah, I don't know when it'll probably change. They update it usually every hour or two, but it's going to go up from 6, I'm sure, with that Mooney situation.
Mm-hmm.
Rashad Higgins is cheap, and Pittsburgh's terrible against deep. He's 10%. That's all he's. Snead, man, I'm telling you, Tennessee's so bad against the second wide receiver, and you got Boykin 1%, you got Snead 1%, you got Duvernay 1%. Make a Jackson lineup, 3 Jackson lineups. Make sure you have Snead, Boykin, and Duvernay in each one. Do 3 lineups. But if you have Duvernay, put the Buffalo defense so that way you can get a possible return touchdown and get touchdown for both.
You mean Baltimore defense?
Yeah, with Duvernay, like make 3 on your entries. If you do them for tomorrow, do at least 3 Lamar Jacks. I would recommend doing 3 Lamar and do Snead, Duvernay, and Boykin on each one of them with Lamar by themselves. You can throw the tight end in there if you want, but only do 1 of each in 3 lineups, because one of them is probably going to get you 15 or 20 points for $3,500, $3,500 salary.
I think Duvernay is the riskiest one out of those. He barely sees.
But he's got the biggest upside, because if he catches a touchdown and can return a touchdown, then you have the defense. You're getting 12 points for each of his touchdowns on special teams. I mean,
I agree.
That's a nasty way. In a slate like this, you have to be different. Like my top lineup today, man, it had Doyle in it. Like who puts Jack Doyle and Michael Pittman in the lineup?
Yeah.
Bro,
You gotta do ugly stuff, man.
You can almost do the same thing with Cordell Patterson and the Bears defense.
Man, I played him like 3 weeks in a row when Cohen went down, man. I was like, you can play him in a wide receiver spot. I killed it on FanDuel 1 week. The first week Breeze went down, they let you put Taysom Hill on tight end.
Oh yeah.
I had a 50 entry tournament and I had him in 50 lineups. I had him as my tight end and he hit 22 points. He was tight end 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's such a gimmick, but nice.
But he was only owned by like 48% of people, which I get is extremely high, but like it was a $4,500 play for 22 points.
Yeah, it was a lock. Like if you don't have that, it's gonna be hard to get him in cash.
Emmanuel Sanders is a low owned. I mean, he's only got to get 20 points. He's $5,000. So that's when you were asking what I do about winning tournaments. I need each spot to get me 4 times their value. You know, if my quarterback's 6,000 salary, I need 24 points. So that way the 50,000 goes to at least 200. That's how I build my lineups.
Right.
You know,
but the biggest thing I was asking in the question is I was trying to weigh the variables based on what percentage of lineups do you probably need to do, because I've only been going down to 5 to 6 lineups over the past 8 weeks, and I tried this new strategy and I don't like it. I was a 20 to 30 lineup guy the whole time, and I feel like I want to go back to that, because the more lineups you get using that approach that you were telling us, you can find an optimal lineup at least from a sample size of like 30. I think you can get that one lineup to get you a top 2-3%.
You have to be top 1% to really get paid. That's the thing. That's why I'll build a lot. I used to do like 5 to 10 lineups a week. Do you hand build your lineups?
Yeah. I don't touch an optimizer.
Okay. I would recommend a lot on bigger slates, like the Sunday main slate normally throughout the year. I would, every lineup I would do at minimum a stack and a bring back. So, at minimum, but usually a double stack and a bring back is what I like to do. And I would do it a lot this season with the Chiefs without Tyreek Hill. But I went to a lot of Watkins and Cole Hardman, and Watkins paid off for me in week 1, but that was the only time he paid off this whole year, basically.
I know, Jake. What's up with him, man?
He's trash.
Playoffs, though, man. In the Super Bowl, man, he put Richard Sherman to work on him, man.
Yeah.
Let's look at this slate for tomorrow. So tomorrow, I'm going to be targeting. Well, they got the Baltimore and the Saints projected for the most points, so I'm gonna go with a lot of Saints and a lot of Baltimore Ravens. And since it's a short slate, since it's only 3 games, you can play a defense against your players, not against a stack. Like obviously, don't play the Browns defense against Roethlisberger, Johnson, and Ebron. But if you had like Claypool, you could play Cleveland's defense on these short slates, because you got to be real different to be at the very top of the tournament.
Of course.
I focus on the highest scoring games usually. Baltimore and Tennessee looks like it's the highest scoring game. It's 50. Wow. Okay, they got that one projected for 54.5 points. Saints in Chicago is 47.5. Pittsburgh, Cleveland, 47.5. So it's target a lot of Baltimore and Tennessee, find out who's low owned on Baltimore and Tennessee. Obviously, the easiest way to do that is to fade Lamar Jackson and hope that Tannehill outscores him value-wise. Like he doesn't have – if Tannehill puts up 28 points and Lamar Jackson puts up 30, you win with Tannehill still.
Of course.
So Tannehill's just so low owned. I mean, if you can hit Tannehill with AJ Brown's 28%, Corey Davis is 35.
Yeah,
Who's
people
their
are
other
probably on Corey Davis because he hasn't done it lately. And when he goes off, he goes off.
Yeah, he's going to be seeing Marcus Peters, so I'd rather have the receiver going against Marcus Peters than Marlon Humphrey, but it's AJ Brown on the other side. I mean, that guy 80 yards and a touchdown any second of the day, man. That's what sucks. He's so expensive though. That's what makes it easy not to go after AJ Brown is because he has to have 28 points to pay off.
Yeah.
You know, even if Henry busts and doesn't hit the end zone, he's going to have 20 or 25 carries. So Tennessee would have to be real efficient. I mean, that New Orleans game's got a really high score. I would, and see, that's what sucks is Roethlisberger's the second highest owned quarterback on the slate, but that's because of what Vegas has the over-under at.
Right.
So Roethlisberger's coming in at 20%. I mean, it almost looks like, I think a good stack for the weekend might be if 5,400 for Baker Mayfield and 4,800 for Kareem Hunt. That's.
I think I understand what you're saying about the percentages, like with Lamar Jackson only being like 34, 40% maybe, because every quarterback on this slate is in play. And that's unlike today. Like
what was your highest scoring lineup from today?
It had Josh Allen, 144. I only had
Can you pull it up?
Yeah.
I'll show you what I mean exactly by the percentages. All right, who do you got? Is that it right there?
No, this is it right here, yes.
All right, so what do we got as your start at the top? 58 plus 30, that's 80. That's 104. That's 137. That's 145, 200. So you were at 225, 226. You were about 228 combined ownership. If you add up all your percentage, that's what your ownership is 228.
Right.
For a main slate, like 6 games or more, if you look at the history of all the winners and like Millie Makers and big field tournaments, that combined ownership percentage, the ideal position to be is under 130. Yours is 237. It's very high, but it's a 3-game slate. It's a 3-game slate, so that's okay. Like mine for the 3-game slate here, if you add mine up, mine was 160, 220. Mine was 230. Mine was the same ownership as yours. Mine was actually a little bit higher.
Right.
That's because I had the chalk of what tournament is this? This is the 20 max, the $3 entry. Let's see. So I got paid out $218 for 121st. But that was my ownership. And you think about it, like a lot of the people I had some super. Well, I guess the idea is I finished 121st. And this is what I mean by ownership. So I finished 121st out of 200 and 97,000 people in the $3 entry.
Right.
When I go to my exact lineup, I had 3 other people tied with the exact same score as me.
Dang, really?
But
it's crazy.
I was at 230. Well, yeah, the ownership 230%. You're going to have duplicates. If you can get your ownership to under 130%, you're very unlikely to have somebody have the same tournament as you. Like there was 4 people with 188 plus 16, and we basically all had the exact same thing except for 1 player difference on each one. But you'll find a lot of cases where, like, let's look at. Okay, this might be a perfect example. So
you
see, or can you go to the Go to the live on that 3-entry thing, because I'll show you right here. Yeah, that's the same tournament I was in.
Yeah, you're talking about tomorrow's slate?
No, the one from today. Did you play in the Saturday $3 entry?
Yeah, I played in the Saturday, Sunday, and just the 3-game slate.
Go to your just the 3 game and hit live on it.
All right.
And let's hop in there, and I'll show you what I mean. Because when you look at 4th place in that tournament, go down to number 4, or scroll all the way up to, you'll see 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Yeah.
And because that should be the same one I was in. That's the one I finished 121st. And if you go to 121st, you'll see there's 4 other people tied with the same score as me. We all had different lineups. Like it'd be 188-16. You'll see 188-16, 188-16, 188-16, and 188-16. But all of them were different. And if you go all the way up to, let's see, the very top, where you see 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, 4th, for instance, 4th place was 216. 2 people tied with that score, but I'm looking at their lineups and.
Is this FanDuel or DraftKings?
DraftKings.
Oh, okay. What's you talking about the 3-game slate? Someone got over 217 points?
No, 203 should be 1st place.
Yeah, 203.
What's is that Dino? Is that Dino? Does that say it?
Dino? No, I didn't play that tournament with the 203.
Which one did you enter in then?
This one was the single entry, 100K to first.
Oh wow, I'm thinking of the $3 max.
Oh, all right, my bad.
No, you're good. So 1st place in that was 217.
No, 196.
Oh, see, that's a low score. If it's under 200, it's usually 200 is a good spot to have a chance to win.
Yeah, you're right. So that guy had the same lineup in the guy that took that single entry. He got 4th place in the Millie.
Yeah, but there was 3 or 4 times as many people, so somebody was gonna.
Hey, EJ, I'm gonna hop off here real quick.
All right, man. All right, Jake. Thanks for jumping on. I hope we got some plays for you.
Yeah, I'll probably make quite a few tonight, tomorrow morning. I don't know. I'm trying to say fuck it, wing some in.
Go with the Baker, Mayfield, and Kareem Hunt. Throw Higgins in there. I mean, or Landry, but I like Higgins just because nobody's going to own him, and
I'll
he's the
probably
deep
make
ball threat.
30 tomorrow and do showdown like always. So
those showdowns you ever have any luck on those?
Yeah, I did real good on the Seahawks game today.
How much salary do you leave?
Depends. It depends.
I will leave $3,000 and $4,000 sometimes in salary.
It depends on the matchup.
Yeah.
Because today, I played. See, I was I think it was the $3. It was like 25,000 was the entries or whatever. I finished like right at 1,000. I had Lockett and Hollister laid me a goose egg, and I still finished 1,000.
I know, I hate it. He was out there the whole time, man.
Like 1K on the table. I could have got the kicker from Seattle.
And it's like nobody in the world thought Metcalf would have gone off today, man.
Well, yeah. But I put Akers at captain, and then the Rams kicker, and the rest were Seahawks. And then I had a little sweat there, but I was hoping it would have caught that last garbage time pass, but
I was hoping Pittman would have caught that damn touchdown he dropped, man.
Yeah.
That one was hard, man.
No.
I mean, think about it. I finished 121st in that tournament. Imagine if Cameron Brate got that touchdown that didn't get taken away. I would have had another 7 points.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wonder what 7 more points would have done in that tournament. The 188, 195, 200 was what won it, so it still wouldn't have won it.
All right, well, I'm out of here. See you guys later.
All right. Thanks for joining. See you, Jake. All right, man. I appreciate you jumping on. I'll stay on for a little bit if you want.
Yeah, I'll hang out for a little bit, and then before I get back on these lineups for tomorrow, man. I'm trying to think of what I'm doing tomorrow. I don't like these ownerships I'm seeing for nobody tomorrow.
Before you came on, I was on Mayfield right before you came on, and I made a lineup with him.
I like it, man, because it's so cheap no matter what.
Yeah.
Who did you go with? Did you take a tight end?
I didn't go. I may do a bring back with Ebron.
Yeah, you can do that.
And Deontay Johnson.
Let's see what's up with Johnson. Yeah, you could do that. I wouldn't. I mean, do it however you want. Sorry, I'm always going to throw my input in there. I'll try not to, man, and I'll let you build your own. Johnson's very highly owned tomorrow. That's why I'm sticking to the Claypool thing. He's a lot lower, and I mean, Cleveland's terrible on the inside, like tight ends and what's his name, Juju. They should tee off against them, but you got Deontay Johnson returning punts and all. Did you see Hines returning punts today?
Yeah, he did.
He didn't get to return any of them because they wouldn't kick them to him, but that would be nice.
Yeah, Hines was a bust, and I had him in the majority of my lineups. Although he did get 9 points, that's not what you needed from him.
Man, I found balls today to not fade Hines or to fade Hines and go with even one of my lineups that was near the top. Man, you ain't gonna believe it. Was a Phil Rivers lineup.
Nice. Yeah.
What did my Phillip Rivers lineup put up total points wise? Oh, I know it had to be. Oh, okay, maybe it wasn't that. He did great today, though, man. Phillip Rivers. I was not expecting that.
I felt like he was going to do good too, but I faded him because I just thought Allen was the lock play.
Yeah, man. I had a Phillip Rivers in that 150 entry. My 107th, the 50-cent entry was a Phillip Rivers stack lineup, and it had 184 points.
Nasty.
But it had Doyle and Pittman and Taylor in it, and all three of them did good. That was a super stack. I mean, that had Diggs, Doyle, Pittman, Taylor, and Rivers. 5 players from that game, and that was 180. That's how you do it on these small slates, man. You super stack a game. Take 3 and 2. Like tomorrow. Oh, and that's a good bet for tomorrow could be to take like Kamara and Thomas because they're all the touches that you're going to get for the Saints. But
yeah,
if you can find the sneaky play in there to go along with them, or maybe, fade one of them and go with it. I know Emmanuel Sanders is not going to be owned hardly at all tomorrow. A lot of that's because you got Thomas coming back. It should with a guy like Emmanuel Sanders, you see all the receivers on tomorrow's slates basically are, let's see, AJ Brown's 30, Robinson's 30, Thomas is 40, 30, 30, 30, and then you got Emmanuel Sanders at 12%. He's a third owned.
I like the Emmanuel Sanders play.
Yeah, I think the only sneaky, like every lineup I have tomorrow I make is probably going to have one of Snead, Boykin, or Duvernay in it. Every single lineup's going to have at least one of them.
Yeah, that's a
it's a lock that one of them, 3.3, 3.4, 3.5, that's their cost. One of them is going to have, 80 yards and a touchdown. It's just going to happen against Tennessee. I like that Duvernay thing. I wasn't thinking of it until you brought it up the other night, man. Just because he gets one or two targets a game.
Yeah, he hasn't really done it receiving wise, but he's had a couple close balls thrown deep to him.
Now, the way to play Duvernay, the best way to play him would be to play him with the Baltimore defense, obviously, so you get that double touchdown.
Right.
But, if that happens, you have to think about how the game's going to play out. You might want to fade Lamar Jackson there and go with the Baltimore running back, because if they're getting takeaways or having defensive special teams touchdowns, that means they're going to be running the ball more.
I'm with you. And I feel like the running back to go there is actually probably Edwards.
Dude, Edwards is coming in at, and I would agree with you because he's coming in at only 17% owned, which is low. But they got Dobbins at 17% too. So like you could do two lineups and you could do one of each in each of the two lineups. So have Duvernay, Baltimore defense, and then do one with Edwards and one with, and then just make the rest the exact same of what your gut is. You know what I mean?
Hey man, I appreciate it, Dan. This is kind of how I like this is the vision I had for the stream. There's a few times where we talk like this.
Dude, I've been thinking about getting on and doing one of these like streams or podcasts forever. This is the first time I've ever gotten on YouTube and talked about it.
Hey man, if you ever wanted to do your own, we could talk off the stream. I got tips for setting it up, and I do video editing. So
I'd be down for that. You ever watch the Fantasy Footballers, man? You ever watch their stream?
No, I stopped watching. I mean, they're probably good guys, but
that's what got me into checking out your stuff. Is it popped up like in related to these guys have been doing it for 10 these guys have been doing it for 10 or 15 years, but they have hundreds of thousands of followers. You know, their show every week, like an NFL player calls in on their show, and they're just normal. Like one of them is kind of like a hipster. You could tell they're probably little hipster guys. I don't want to say that they probably just drink beer and get stoned all day long, but that's probably what they do. Nice. And they sit and talk. They have two podcasts, the Fantasy Footballers, but they have one called the Spitballers too, which is them bullshitting, and like they're pretty entertaining.
I like stuff like that. I like meeting people that just want to kind of chill out. I don't want to stream that looks like Awesemo or looks like Al Smizzle. I don't want to.
No, I watched Al for about I unsubscribed to him a few months ago on Twitch just because he's annoying, man.
None of his things are live. They're just all recorded videos
on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he does them live on Twitch, so you can watch him at 11 o'clock every single day on Twitch. It's not worth
really?
Yeah, but he uploads them later. His videos are like, 20 or 30 minutes long, but his Twitch is like 2 hours long, and then he'll upload the, whatever he's doing. But yeah, man, like, I mean, if more people get in here, like I said, it's always fun to talk and get people's concepts on it. Find out the main thing is analytics, man. Find out strategies to win. You're never just going to hit a pick 'em, and you're never just going to click on 9 different spots and get the right. I mean, what are the odds of that? Right. So you find a strategy, and I like doing the stack or double stack with the bring back, and then doing another mini stack in between. Like if you like the Baker Mayfield thing, you could do Baker with Jarvis Landry, and I'd go Kareem Hunt as his second pass catcher, just because he gets 40 or 50 rushing yards a game and he gets everything out of the backfield. They might be trailing against Pittsburgh, so they might have to throw it. But, and then bring your Pittsburgh player back and then look at this, Baltimore, Tennessee, and go with or your Duvernay, but make sure you take a Tennessee bring back player, Fade maybe anybody on the Bears besides Jimmy Graham and Allen Robinson, maybe Anthony Miller. That's a dart throw, but if you take a lineup and you put, like for tomorrow's 3-man tournament, if you put Anthony Miller, or if you put I'm going to tell you now, if you put Jimmy Graham in your lineup and you put Willie Snead, Duvernay, or Boykin, if you put both of those in one lineup, you can do whatever you want with the rest of it without having to worry about anything. You can go with 7 chalky spots and you're fine. If you were to take 2 1% owned projected players, because they're just.
That's why I like the Colts tight ends, because that's what that was today. If you struck gold with Doyle.
Yeah, I mean but most people probably went to damn Trey Burton.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I got. I mean, looking at my Draftkings, I don't know how I don't even remember getting Doyle in lineups, bro. I really don't. And he was in them. He was in 2 of mine. Like I said, I had Allen, Akers, Taylor, Pittman, Diggs, and Doyle. So I had 3 spots left in 2 of those lineups. So I went Chris Godwin in the flex, Buccaneers defense, And I had 2 lineups for it. So I had Godwin in both, Buccaneers in both. I felt good about both of those. And I did Metcalf and Lockett in one of each. So I just needed one of them to come through, you know? And I felt like Metcalf or Lockett, one of them had to have a good day, even if Seattle did. There's nobody else on that team who can get it done. I mean, because Hollister can have a great game, and a great game for Hollister is 60 yards and a touchdown. So that's nothing, you know. There had to be 200 yards coming from Russell Wilson, basically, and somebody had to catch 100 of them. Somebody was going to get the 100 yards. It was just, who was it? Lockett was the fantasy receiver 12 or 13 on the year. And 90% of his fantasy points came in 3 weeks for the whole year. For all 16 games, 90% of it came in. I couldn't believe it, man. So that's why I took a dab. I took a stab at him.
That's a crazy statistic to unravel there.
Well, it's like week 3 this year. Odell Beckham, he had that one great week before he got hurt. God, I would love to have him on this slate tomorrow. Could you imagine that against the Steelers?
Yeah, I mean, but you got to find that guy. I feel like, what if you get Jarvis Landry of the week where he blew up, like 2 weeks after Beckham's injury? Like,
yeah,
Landry,
he's never really going to be him. I did have Landry the week where he had 140 something receiving yards. I went to him one week because he was playing, I think, Jacksonville or Tennessee that week.
Yeah, that was the week.
But here, I'll pull up. Okay, so I got Landry pulled up here. So on Draftkings, he only hit 20 points twice this year. It was against Jacksonville and Tennessee. Right. I'm telling you, Tennessee's terrible against. So Landry that week against Jacksonville had 20 points. What did Higgins do against Tennessee? Had 20. Higgins had 21 points against Tennessee that week. So Landry had 22. Higgins had 21. That was 40 points the Browns receivers had against Tennessee secondary, man. I'm telling you, Tennessee, every lineup have one of those 3 pass catchers. Not Marquise Brown. You can have him, but if you do that, put Jackson in there, have Brown, and have another one of them.
Yeah, like Snead.
Because it's not the primary receiver. It's always the secondary receiver. I mean, that, you know, you look at it, Landry against Tennessee had 20 points, but he wasn't even the highest scoring receiver on his team that week. 21 for Higgins. And if Snead's back, we'll know if Snead's playing or not.
Yeah, they'll update it within an hour. I like that.
I mean, he's only 2% owned, man. I would throw Des Bryant in one lineup this week.
You can always count on Des Bryant to.
He's a proven touchdown guy. I mean, he got a touchdown this year with the Ravens, I think.
Twice. Back-to-back weeks.
But 11 and 8 yards. Oh, that's harsh.
I know it is. Yeah, he's like a tight end $2,500 play.
Yeah, and he's only $3,000, but the thing at 2.7, nobody owns him, man. What if he has a 60-yard touchdown? Then you get 5 times value, you know.
Yeah, it's an amazing play if he gets 3 catches for 60, 70 yards and a touchdown.
I guess that's my thing is if you can find a cheap player that's going to get you 5 times value, I think that's nice. I prefer 6 because 5 times value on a cheap player can be, 12.5 or 15 points if they're 25 or 3,000.
Bro, were you on McKenzie at all week 17? Because I was so on. I mean, he got you 10.
No, and I'm pissed off because I forgot to take him out of a lineup today. And that was, dude, no, I have McKenzie in a lineup that I think was like 175 points. I forgot to take him out because I took him out on all my FanDuel stuff. And I forgot on FanDuel or on Draftkings to take him out of a lineup. And it was a lineup that put up like 175 with him in there. Like I could have, if I would have remembered to switch that out and would have hit on that, I might have had a 200 lineup. But no, I haven't been on McKenzie at all this year, man. Like, except for this week.
Beasley was out. That was the biggest reason why.
Yeah, well, everybody was saying that he was going to take over in the slot if Beasley was out. And I liked Dawson Knox anyway because he was cheap. Because I knew McKenzie wasn't going to return. Everybody's like, oh, he had a return. No, Andre Roberts is the return man. He was returning last year because they locked up the playoffs last week and were playing backups.
Right.
You know, I mean, I don't even think McKenzie was on the field for 10 plays today.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I didn't play him in any lineups. I almost did if Cole Beasley was out again, but I rolled with McKenzie. I mean, I rolled with Beasley instead, and he wasn't a terrible play.
Man, it was brutal because I literally, like, I type in McKenzie. Dude, he pops up in That's how shitty today. Okay, so I don't even care about that lineup, but I was off to a good start. My McKenzie lineup here, it's got Allen, Taylor, Diggs, and Pittman. So it's off to the right. So hold on, I'll see if can you see that?
Yeah, let me.
So I had Gronk. I had Gronk and the one I forgot to take him out of, but I was off to a great start. As you can see, I had Allen, Taylor, Diggs, and Pittman to start off. And I forgot to take McKenzie. That lineup finished with 131 points, with Gronk and McKenzie getting a 0, and with Antonio Gibson getting a 5. Yeah, you know, if you got 3 20-spot points there, you're at 191. That was brutal. I forgot
Bills got 0 points. I didn't even know that.
Who did?
Bills D.
Yeah, dude, that was brutal. Bills D. Oh, it was rough. I didn't own very much of them. No, but Bills for the second half of the season were one of the worst teams against the run. That's why I played a lot of Taylor, because the Bills were one of the worst against running backs this year, second half of the season. Like when you look at the wide receiver matchups tomorrow too, that's one of the cool things about this. I use Roto-Grind. I don't like Osimo, man. I don't like that. I like Roto-Grinders. But
I like Roto-Grinders too. I just don't want to. I think I'll do it next year. And I'll
you know, if you do it today on the by the 10th, you get 21 days for $21 of everything. Okay. Yeah, so you'd get the rest of the playoffs for $21. They're doing a promo. You type in I don't remember what their video said. You type in like 2020 or 2021 in the promo, and you get 21 days for $21 of everything. So, you know, for the next 3 weeks of playoff football, that would be. But I could always email you the projections too.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think I'll do it next year. But, yeah, if you're up to that I'll –
yeah, just remind me, because anytime I see you on at night, I'll probably hop on.
Yeah.
Juju's cheap tomorrow, man. You said you were looking at Baker, though. What did your lineup with Baker have in it?
Here, I'll pull it up. It wasn't a big stack. It was I was projecting that Mayfield runs a touchdown, and I was trying to go with just one weapon, Higgins. Mayfield and Higgins. That is a lineup. Let me find it here, man. I did complete it. It had like $100 in salary left over.
Like $100 in salary left over?
Yeah, it wasn't much.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Oh, but it has Titans D, so I guess you're talking me out of thinking that could be like a crazy 2% owned defense that I know they can't stop anyone. I get it. But
also think it's defense, man. You could have every defense shit the bed easily tomorrow. You know, I mean, Tampa Bay on the Saturday slate was 32% owned, and they put up 4 points. You know?
Yeah.
But my lineup with 184 points today had Tampa Bay's defense. You know, it only had 4 points from defense. I'll punt defense all the time. Like I will literally, when I'm erasing stuff from my player pool, when I go to defense, I'll keep like 7 or 8 defenses in there. And I am 100% every time taking the first lowest, second lowest, or third lowest is staying no matter what. You know, a couple weeks ago, the Falcons were 1,900. I wanted to do it, but they were playing the Chiefs. But a defense for $1,900, like that's a free square, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Titans are the highest owned defense tomorrow. Everybody's going to take the Titans. They're 20% owned.
You think so? Really?
Yeah, well, they're only 3,400. I mean, think about it. If you go and just going up to
FanDuel, they're 2,200 on Draftkings.
It goes to FanDuel every time on Roto Grinders when I load the slate.
You could say it, but the moment you say a salary cap number, it kind of throws me off from.
You're not going to be happy. They're higher owned on DraftKings.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 22.8% owned. Steelers are 20, Saints are 19, and then you got 10 for the Ravens, 12% for the Bears, Browns, and the Ravens are 10%. I mean,
how do they know these projections? Like, it's a big gut instinct of just experience.
I mean, you know, those big tournaments, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of people that use roto grinders and stuff like that. They use their optimizer to make their lineups and save them. So they track everybody's lineups just to calculate what they're coming up with. That's why it's always within like 4 or 5%, because like Awesemo, that's how they do it. When people go on their site to build their lineups, they will track the lineup to see the usage in players to get a good look on. I don't like Awesemo because have you ever watched any of their podcasts?
Yeah, I don't like.
I think they try to throw you off of players so they can play them. I really think some of their guys like try to steer you away from good plays for their benefit.
Yeah, I heard that they do. Like,
and it's not, you know, Roto Grinders, I watch theirs. I've never thought that, but on Awesemo, I have legit thought like this guy is trying to steer me away from a perfect play. And, you know, like, what was it 2 weeks ago? He said, you know, I'm not playing Kamara this week with Latavius Murray and Taysom Hill still coming in. Kamara had 6 touchdowns. And the guy was like trying to tell people not to play Kamara before that game. And the dude had 6 touchdowns.
Wow.
I don't think I've seen him on a stream since.
Dang.
Jimmy Graham is super low owned, man. He's going to get, I think,
Jimmy Graham like 5 times. You really like Jimmy Graham.
I mean, to be honest, dude, I really liked Michael Pittman. I really like Cam Sims. You saw what they did today, man.
Yeah, they went off.
But New Orleans is terrible against the Saints. I know it's a revenge game for Jimmy Graham, but I know they got Cole Met. But it's the playoffs. It's the Bears, man. Jimmy Graham's been around for 15 years. They're going to have him on the field. Plus, he's like 6'1".
Yeah, it'd be nice to catch a touchdown back in the dome.
And didn't we go over his red zone targets this year? I think Jimmy Graham has like 18 red zone targets.
Yeah. I don't think it's a bad play. I want to be on Komet or Jimmy.
They're both low. Jimmy Graham's 1.7. Cole Kmet's 10%. That's still low. But they're not going to go up at all because Jonnu Smith's right there, and Jonnu Smith's 3,200. But everybody's got 20% of the people have Jonnu. So think about it. If you take Graham, Jonnu Smith is 20%, Graham's 1.7. But if Graham outscores Jonnu, then that's 1/5 of the tournament you're ahead of. That's where the ownership percentage comes into play. You think about it. If they have the exact same score, but if it's 1/10 of a point difference, I mean, and you have the 1.7% guy, that's, you know, a tournament of 20,000 people, that's 4,000 people that you're ahead of just for that. That's why I use the percentages. Like you look at Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is 25% owned tomorrow. But who can realistically outscore Mark Andrews for the value? Like not overall, just for the salary. You know, he's 5.2. He's got to get 4 times his value for you to average 200. So Andrews has to get 20 points tomorrow. Jimmy Graham's only got to get 12 to hit 4 times value. You know, if Graham's 3.3, so he has to hit 13.2 points. That's not hard.
Yeah, if Graham catches a touchdown, it's probably going to be like a 20-yard pass, so there's 9 points plus
Yeah, well, you think about it, all he's got to have it. Yeah, and I do projections in my head. You said you projected Baker Mayfield for a rushing touchdown. That's smart to do. Like, I projected Josh Allen for a rushing touchdown today. I was like, Josh Allen is going to get a rushing touchdown. And boy, I hope you didn't play no Wolford today. I hope your buddy didn't play no Wolford either.
No, I took him out. Dude, you know who I started getting an itch in a showdown? I did 5 lineups in the Washington and Bucks, and I put Heineke in the captain in 3 out of those 5 lineups. And
really?
I had Gronk as a goose egg, and I still had cashes in all of them because I had Heineke.
Can you imagine if you were on Brait there?
I think I was on one. I could pull that up. It was fun to do that.
Oh yeah, you probably. I don't like the showdowns, man. You got to get so difficult with those.
Yeah,
like you got to leave 3. The big ones, like if there's over 20,000 people, you have to leave 3,000 or 4,000 in salary on the table. You have to win it. You know, there's going to be like if you go to the top, go to the first place.
This guy
140. Look at all the 147.50s. How many of those 147.50s are there though?
Yeah, there's so many. Like 17. Yeah,
and I bet you they all have the exact same 17, exact same lineup, exactly. You know, but like click on one of them, the 147. So, all right, where's it at? Oh, wow. And that's crazy because you see how it's laid out there. Like, all of those people, let's see.
That's a maxed out lineup. That's zeroing out.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what I'm getting at. Think about it. That's a maxed out lineup. But you see, where's he at? Let's see. Antonio Brown. I mean, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown.
That's the 3rd place. Yeah.
You know, you look at one spot there, like Heineke he had a good game. I didn't realize he was that freaking good in the game.
Oh, man, he was an amazing play. You could have even had him in a classic.
But if you look at the lineup right above that, look, like that one's tied with 17 people. If you look at the lineup right above that, it's going to be something weird. Like it's not going to have, Antonio Brown. It might have Cameron Brate in it. Nobody in their million years would ever put Brate when they can still fit Antonio Brown. But I bet you you'll see like it's just weird because Antonio Brown obviously outscored him. But there was some player that was lower salary. Like if you go to the first place, I bet you there was probably salary remaining.
Yeah, I don't know how to find that. I don't think you can see that on Draftkings.
No, probably not.
But I swear I thought I had a lineup that had Braid in it. Because I did put him in 1, I thought.
Who's low owned?
Yeah, I like that Braid play because he was cheap.
Yeah, he was real cheap. I think he was 27?
Yeah.
Are there any of those tomorrow? I like the under 3K play because a tight end for 25, all he has to do is fall into the end zone, really.
In the classic, the 3-game slate?
Yeah, there's Fursker. I mean, that game's going to be so high scoring. I would take a chance on him. If you did like 20 lineups, I would throw him in one of them. Or in Njoku.
Berkshire blows up if Jonnu Smith gets hurt, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think he had like a 20-point game earlier this year with Smith hurt.
I don't know if there's the only...
But he runs routes every game, I know. Like, let's see what amount of percentage of routes he runs. He runs routes on 47% of the plays.
Yeah.
He's targeted 12% of the time. But, like, this is what I like about where Roto Grinders comes into play. You I mean, I'm on tight ends, and this is another reason where Jimmy Graham sticks out to me. I mean, Jimmy Graham's red zone percentage for the Chicago Bears, he's targeted 22.2% of their red zone passes. I mean, that's 1 out of 5 times, you know?
Dude, what if you had Jimmy Graham and Cole Kmet in the same lineup from the same team, and you went with Trubisky? Like, how nutso is that? That is so unique.
It is, but not only that, bro. That's how you win. Like, by doing that, you literally get to play $7,000 plays across the rest of the board. You know, like let me build the lineup with that on the projections and see what it says about it. So you said Graham and Met?
Yeah, that's just nutso. But someone's gonna step in for that second receiver.
Well, I always on these 3-game slates, I always like doing a tight end in the flex spot because nobody does it. That's a way to differentiate yourself right there. You know, take that flex spot and throw a tight end in there because nobody else is going to do it, you know. But
and you could definitely have Kamara, and you could even go Michael Thomas.
So if you do that, Trubisky, you said Kamara and Michael Thomas.
And Henry.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be playing any Henry tomorrow. Thomas.
Or you can put in Dobbins.
Well, no, it's not that Henry. They got him projected for 47.1% ownership. I mean, he's 9,200. He has to hit 36,000 or 36.8 points to hit his value. He's not going to hit 36 points against Baltimore. He might hit 25.
Man.
But I mean, you think about it. For Henry to hit 36 points, he doesn't catch passes. For him to hit 36 points, he would literally have to have 3 touchdowns and 140 rushing yards to hit 36 points. That's what he would have to get with the 3-point bonus. 140 plus 3 plus 18. Yeah, he's not going to have 140 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns on Baltimore. So I am fading Henry because 9.2. I mean, if he gets you 20 points, that's only 2 times his salary. That's half of what you need. So I'm fading a lot of him. He's a good play because he can hit that ceiling. I just 47. Him and Kamara, he's 47%. Kamara's 49%.
Yeah.
So but like you said, you can do that if him and Kamara hit their ceilings. You're gonna have them in their lineups. But you know, Kamara has to hit 34 and Henry has to hit 36. So you got to get 34, 36. So that's 70. You have to have 70 points between Henry and Kamara for it to pay off. Because if it's not 70 points, you get what I'm saying about the 4 times value. I know you said something about 7 times the other day. Did you say you had a player hit 7 times value?
10 times.
That's so fucking sick. Who was it?
McKenzie.
Oh, yeah. And you were the only person who had him, too.
Yeah, but I didn't cash. I had 186 points, and I didn't cash. It was nuts.
Oh, damn.
I didn't have Henry and Jonathan Taylor, but it's all good.
Yeah, and that's why I won't be playing Henry. Is just because there's so many running backs that. I mean, you think Cleveland, Tennessee, Baltimore, they all run. David Montgomery's been getting like 25 touches a game religiously. Kamara, there's so many good running backs tomorrow. I don't see the need to play Henry and Kamara together. I'm just playing a bunch of Kamara regardless. I think Kamara had like 90 something receiving yards against the Bears earlier this year too. So he had a really great great game against the Bears earlier this year. I mean, you got to take it. Let's see. Yeah, Thomas didn't play that game. You know, he's going to take a chunk out of Kamara's targets.
Yeah.
And he's 6,300, man. Michael Thomas is a guy you could put in every one of your lineups and you're not going to fail. Like if you can find 3 players, I might do that, man. With my 20 lineups tonight, to be honest with you, bro, I might put Michael Thomas in all 20. No, I'll probably do 15 with Michael Thomas. And in 5 of those, I'll probably put Snead. 5 of them, I'll probably put Duvernay. 5 of them, I'll probably put Boykin.
Right.
Because I feel really sure about that Baltimore receiver thing, and I feel really sure about Michael. Because this 3-game slate, what I learned today is you don't need 240 points to win a 3-game slate. You need about 200.
Yeah, there was no play that was really over 30 points. So
yeah, there's gonna be this weekend. I think Josh Allen was the only one today, wasn't he?
Yeah, but what Heineke was the best play. That's crazy. For value, pound for pound, he was 7x. Allen was 5x.
That was so nuts, man.
Heineke,
yeah. On
7x
FanDuel, Heineke was 5.16 value. That's insane for FanDuel. Like you want 3 times on FanDuel. That dude was 5 points because Jack Doyle was only 4 times value on FanDuel. Holy Heineke.
Wow.
And you know what sucks is that dude will probably play another NFL game in his life.
I know. He played so good, man.
He was here, man. I've seen him. Like he was on the St. Louis Battlehawks football team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was. You remember the Battlehawks in last year?
No. Was that that
XFL?
Oh, okay. No, I didn't.
Yeah, we had a team here in St. Louis, and he was the backup quarterback. Jordan Ta'amu was the starting quarterback.
Wow.
But yeah, man, he had 300 yards, had a touch. I mean, he looked all right. Running the ball, he looked all right, man. But that's what I like about fantasy football, man. You get all these people who hop on, like, we're going to hop on Wolford because of the running ability. I mean, if the dude gets you 100 yards rushing, that's great, but he's not going to pass for 200 yards and 1 touchdown, then it's, you're busted.
Well,
Cam Newton's something else. Cam Newton's the god to that, man. That guy this year.
Yeah.
He had a terrible year, but he had a great fantasy year.
Yeah, he had some duds, but
it's just, to see a guy put up, I think one game he had 400 passing yards, and most of the time he was getting 25 or 30 points while he was only passing for 100 yards.
Oh, yeah?
Dude, you may...
Dude, I'm a run.
I mean, dude, you might be on to something, dude. Baker Mayfield had 44 rushing yards last week.
I like Mayfield, but that's
well. You said you're projecting man. He had 44 rushing yards last week.
Yeah,
I mean, he might run the ball, dude. I don't know. It's tough. It looks like
when he does get in the end zone running, he got 34 points against Baltimore. That was that one game they put up a lot of points. I remember that.
Oh, against Baltimore?
Yeah, that night game. It was just an explosion game.
Oh, yeah, I want to say. Well, he had a couple – dude, I think he had a 5-touchdown game this year, I remember.
Yeah, I thought he did. Yeah, Cincinnati.
Was it? Okay, I don't got to pull it back up then.
Yeah,
I'll be playing a lot of Baker Mayfield tomorrow, just to get away from Jackson, or Tannehill. Actually, Tannehill will probably be my biggest owned quarterback tomorrow. Yeah. He's just too low owned. I mean, let's see, him and Mayfield are the lowest owned quarterbacks by a lot. Like I said, they're half as owned as Breeze, Roethlisberger, and Jackson, or third as owned as Jackson. Jackson's gotten there every week for like the last month, though. Yeah, actually not. 22 and 25 the last 2 weeks. Yeah, and see, that's the thing. Jackson, he's 7.8K. I mean, he's got to have a lot of fucking points to pay off. He's got to have 35 points, and he didn't even do that once this year.
I know.
He had 34.92. Dude had 35 points in a game where he passed for 160 yards and 1 touchdown. Still had 35 points.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson's. I just want to. I always like to find a way to fade. Like, I feel like you could fade Lamar Jackson because he hasn't been that consistent all year. Like, Josh Allen was the top play today, but he's been consistent lately.
I love Lamar Jackson if Tennessee keeps the game close.
Yeah.
You know, if Baltimore starts blowing away, it's going to be Gus Edwards and Dobbins.
But, dude, I'm still on the Lamar Jackson. He could still be that quarterback that never wins a playoff game. Look at Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton never won one for the Bengals, right? I mean, Lamar Jackson's a better quarterback, but he may struggle in this third playoff appearance.
I think so. They have the best play, and it's funny. Roto Grinders has the best point per dollar option is Drew Brees for tomorrow.
Yeah. Dude, I'll make a bold prediction, man. I don't see Lamar Jackson on the $1 million lineup.
Tomorrow?
No, there's too many other value plays that we're talking about. This is the playoffs, man. Everyone plays their heart out, man. Especially like Big Ben could be a 4-touchdown, 350-yard passing game. He can get you 32 points. Well,
and what you're saying makes sense, though. Yeah, he can. He's just his ownership makes me want to stay away. What you make a great point there, saying you don't. But if you don't see Lamar Jackson in the million maker, and you still think he's going to have a great game, I mean, I think you have to play Tannehill there. Because if Lamar has a good game, Tannehill's got to have. It can't be Derrick Henry. It's got to be Tannehill. You know,
right?
If they're putting up points, I mean, and Tannehill, man, he's got a lot of rushing touchdowns this year.
Yeah, he got a 40.
He's got 5 in the last 3 weeks. He's got 5. What? My bad. I'm a little excited seeing that, man. He had 2 last week, 1 the week before, 2 the week before. Oh, but he played Detroit, Green Bay, and Houston. Those 3 defenses aren't even real.
Yeah.
I mean, Green Bay, Alexander, man. Jair Alexander. Oh.
Yeah, man, I could talk to you about the Pack. I know the Pack pretty well.
I'm going to play their showdown slates. I'm going to play those showdown slates. I'm obsessed with it. You should see these pair of Nikes I ordered, man. I got the Air Max Packer Edition ones. Nice. But yeah, we'll definitely have to do a show or talk about that slate next week, man.
Oh, we will, man. I was just up in Wisconsin last weekend.
Who are they playing? They're going to wind up playing the Rams because the Buccaneers won. They're going to wind up playing the Rams.
The Bears. They'll either play the Rams or the Bears.
Oh, man. I would kind of hope that the Bears beat the Saints tomorrow because then they're going to the Super Bowl, man. If the Saints are gone, you think about it, if the Saints are out of it, Tampa Bay has to come to Green Bay.
I don't want to play the Bears.
I mean, they've shredded them.
I know. That's the thing, man. It's so hard to beat a team 3 times in the same year. I know that's just an excuse, but it's the truth, man.
And I guess the good news is the road to the Super Bowl goes through Lambeau either way.
Right.
And Rodgers has never had that. You don't think he's going to eat?
Dude, I want to play the Rams, actually, man. They got guys that just got banged up. Cup looks like he may be out.
Aaron Donald.
He got shook up too. He may not be the same.
They might not even have a quarterback next week, man.
Yeah, I want to play the Rams. The Rams aren't going to the championship
You know
game.
what's crazy is I know somewhere on that roster that at least this year they had Blake Bortles too.
Yeah, they did. I think they signed him off the practice squad. Man, Bortles. I went to college with Blake Bortles.
Wow. Tell you what I will be doing next week on those Packer slates, though, is I will be throwing Mercedes Lewis in some of them.
Dude, you want to know my play? If you do the showdown, it's Daphne, man. I played that dude. He caught a touchdown pass, man. I had him at 0.5% in a showdown. It was nuts.
Yeah, I remember that was last week too.
Yeah,
He's like number 45 or something. I didn't even know who that dude was.
I know. I was watching him. He plays fullback, but if you watch his college
I miss John Kuhn, man. That dude got some touchdowns.
That's what they want this guy to be. This guy can run the ball. This guy will take handoffs. He was a running back in college. He was a jack of all trades. So they got Aaron Rodgers gets everyone. There's one thing, if you know about the Packers, Aaron Rodgers gets every player on his team a touchdown. He tries. I mean, he just does. Like, I could see Tavon Austin getting a touchdown next week. Everybody gets a touchdown at some point during the season.
Yeah, I could see Austin. I mean, I think it's just Aaron Rodgers. You can't ever play him without playing Adams. That's the tough part.
Yeah, but Adams should blow up next week since he didn't do it this past week.
Yeah, but if he's got Jalen Ramsey next week.
Yeah, tougher. Well,
hello, MVS. Hello, buddy.
Yeah, I like MVS.
I mean, DK Metcalf did it on the long ball today, man. I mean, the Rams showed they can be beat on that deep ball a little bit.
Yeah, but you know who the slate breaker is for the Packers receivers? It's Equanimus St. Brown. That's the slate breaker that comes in at 1%. Maybe not even 1% in the 3-game slate.
Yeah, he probably will. But I mean, yeah.
He caught a touchdown pass for 30 yards, man.
Yeah, I mean, I got you, but like you got to. I guess what it comes into play with me is that those lower owned percentages is you do have those guys who can even get you 2 touchdowns sometimes.
Dude, do you remember 3 years ago when Jeff Janis caught the Hail Mary from Rodgers? And
when he caught the 40-yard pass from the end zone and then caught the Hail Mary?
Yeah. Jeff Janis had 37 points. And he was like 0.5% owned.
So there was a tournament that second place finish I had like 2 weeks ago. There was another tournament I was top 50 in with like 5 minutes left in the game, and I was down by like 25 points, like from first place, And all I had in that lineup in the fourth quarter was Nelson Aguilar. And you remember his 80-yard touchdown?
Yeah.
Dude, I had him. And the only other player I still had going in that game was fucking Myles Gaskin, who had the 70-yard catch on the next play for a touchdown. You remember that? Dude, in that game, it was a slate. It wasn't a showdown, but somehow I had Aguilar and Gaskin. Like, that was the coolest thing I've ever seen watching the games, man. Having both your players do a 70-yard touchdown on back-to-back plays. Like, dude, I was screaming, yelling, like when Aguilar did it. And I was like, all I need is for Gaskin to get a 70-yard touchdown. And they did a little check down to him, and he went to I couldn't fucking believe it, man. I was going wild. Like, I was screaming, yelling. I'm sure my neighbors heard me.
Yeah.
Oh, I love, dude. That's what I love, man. Is what do you play? Like, what do you watch the games throughout the day?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, what do you do when your player has a 70-yard touchdown? You go crazy, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, well, if you set so many lineups, you have to know how much core they are, I guess, in your lineups. If he's only in one lineup, then
Yeah, I guess I knew where I was at the other day in that tournament because I was watching. It was the fourth quarter with like 6 minutes left, so I was watching the players I had left. Luckily, they happened to do it that way. It's like that next week, man, when I had that Deshaun Jackson, like first drive, dude had an 80-yard touchdown, and I was like, oh, it didn't do anything the rest of the day, but one play can get you there, man. That's the thing is if you're ever in these big tournaments and you're in like 300th or 400th place, but you have a guy who's 1% owned and he gets a long touch, like you're going to top 10. It's happening. The one I finished 121st in today, I was up to like 23rd at one point in that tournament.
Nice.
And I fell back when Antonio Brown got his touchdown. Because what killed me on today's slate was by the time it was all said and done, there was two spots that trumped mine for the main entry, and one was Mike Evans outscoring Michael Pittman compared to where I had Pittman at. Some guy and Evans had a pretty good, a little bit more than Pittman, just a couple points, I think.
Right.
And that's what I mean. I was hoping Evans at the beginning of the day, like I had him in a lot of lineups because I knew he was low owned. He was low owned. I mean,
Evans had a good game. He had like 20 points still.
Yeah, but remember last night they didn't even know if he was going to play.
I know.
And he was way lower owned than any of their Tampa Bay wide receivers. So I put him in a bunch of lineups just knowing if he doesn't play, I can take a $400 hit to go down to Antonio Brown.
Right.
And, that's just a raise for Antonio Brown in that situation. Because if a player's out, everybody's projections go up. That's what made me real nervous today, man, is when they said Beasley was going to play. I hopped on Roto Grinders and saw Diggs, Davis. All their projections went down like 1.5, 2 points apiece because Beasley was playing.
Yeah, but Beasley, it wasn't a bad play. It just wasn't a great play. It was just average.
No, he was in my highest scoring lineup today. That
really?
Cameron Brate one. Remember we went over it? I had Beasley, Godwin, Diggs, Akers, Taylor, Allen, Brate, Cam Sims, and the Rams defense. That was my highest scoring lineup of the day, and it had freaking Beasley in it.
Nice.
Here, I'll pull it up here. I'll get you. This was my highest scoring lineup of the day.
Hold on.
And it won me 150 in that tournament.
Yeah, nice. That's awesome, man.
Let me see I think that was only the 50-cent entry, though.
Holy schmoly.
No, that was the $3 entry.
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah, you see Cameron Brate 0.9% owned, man. Can you imagine if that touchdown would have stood?
Oh, I know.
That would have been another 7 points. I would have been at 195. I would have been
probably like 4th.
12th. Because 196 is, I would have been 12th, man.
That's nuts, man.
But yeah, I can't believe I had because I didn't even want to play Beasley. Even when they said he was playing, I didn't want to play him. But you can't make, 60 lineups and not have at least exposure to everybody.
Right.
Like,
I agree.
You'll see every week I'll have 180, 190 point lineup every week. I'll have at least one, but I'll have a 80 or 90 point lineup too because of the way I build them. I've been fortunate with injuries, man. Not having them this year. Last year, injuries killed me in some tournaments. Damn, man, that is so crazy. I was sitting there. I had 3 play. This lineup came out of nowhere too. I had that one that had 184 points, and I knew where that one was long standing from like the second quarter when Godwin got his touchdown. I knew where that one was at. Right. I went back to check Draftkings to see who was catching up, and this thing had 170 out of nowhere, and I was like 177, and I saw Sims, Brate, and Sims, Bray, and Godwin. Yeah, going into the fourth quarter, I was like, holy cow, this one's got 177, and I got Sims, Bray, Godwin for a whole quarter, man. I was just praying the game stayed close so the teams had to pass.
Yeah, that's true.
I was cussing Tom Brady out at the end of the game when he was kneeling too.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't losing any yards, man. Usually they kneel and lose a yard or two so people in front of you go down. But like I was one position away from getting paid 200 instead of 150. And the guy finished with 0.08 of a point more than me. So if Brady would have taken that step back, he would have lost a 1/10 of a point and I would have jumped ahead of him.
That's crazy. That's good to know that analysis on it.
Yeah, well, that's why you look at Kyler Murray. He kneels forward on kneel downs. He says, I don't want my fantasy players losing points, so he kneels forward. Some of these players know what's up, man. Like Austin Eckler, he promised his fantasy fans big points next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I can't wait for, man, is that best ball tournament to come around again next year.
Dude, I'm ready, man. We could do some drafts on here together. Kind of.
Bet. I'll be down because they have that $3 entry one too. I made it to week 3 in that one too, man. But
that was my first year. I only did, I think, 5 lineups, and one of them went to round 3.
Yeah, this was the first. That's what killed me, man. Is I don't know, I had 100, I think. I had like 2,000 entered on it, and they were like $20 a piece. But I was working from home, man, sitting at my computer all summer, sitting, drinking water, working, sitting there on my phone, man, just doing like 4 or 5 drafts every day while I'm at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd spend like $100 I'd do a draft. It would take an hour. Then I'd be like, fuck it, I'm going to do another one. And I'd do that for like a month straight. So that's how I wound up with all those lineups. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be tricky, man. I mean, are you making lineups for tomorrow?
Yeah.
What tournament are you focusing on?
Well, I'm trying to see if I want to do the 20 lineups and the $3. But right now, I only have 4 lineups in the $25 milli.
Oh, that milli maker too, man. They only got 100,000 people in it.
Yeah, that's why I was gonna just do 4 lineups in it. That's the strategy I've been doing lately, and it hasn't really been working. But I really like doing more lineups. But when I do smaller lineups, I tend to feel like I try and make sure that the plays I want to lock in are really solid plays from an ownership and a chalk perspective, I guess.
Well, let me hit this optimizer and see what it's going to have as the highest projected lineup. So when you optimize it for Draftkings, points per dollar wise, it comes in at 142 points for tomorrow. Is the highest. Like how they value each player playing at position. Right. So it comes up to 142.87 points, but it's got the best value lineup for tomorrow. Like if you do did you ever do any cash games?
No.
Yeah, that's a real easy way to make money.
Yeah.
Because all you have to do is pick chalk. Cash games, you got to focus on a high floor. You don't have to worry about ceiling. You just need a high floor.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I just would feel like shit if I ever got a cash lineup.
That hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would too.
Got me $1 million and not just double my money.
Well, I would too, man. I get so pissed off. I do $60 for that $3 entry, like the 20 max. I do all 20. I'm like, I might as well spend 60 and just hit as many entries as I can. And I do that every week, and they have the 50-cent tournament, that's $75, but you get 150 lineups. I'll use the optimizer for that. And my highest scoring lineup will always be on a 50 cent. It's never on the expensive entry.
Right.
I had one today on FanDuel. They had a $9 entry contest, and I took like 887th out of 26,000, but it was $9 entry, and I only won $20 off coming in the top 1,000. You really got to finish so high. And if you're doing four of those 20. Is it $25?
Yes. I may swap it out and do 20 of the $3 and just do more lineups.
Yeah. Well, and if you have time for it, what I usually do is, like, if you say you were going to play on $100, like say you were like, okay, I have $100 I can play with today. You can do 20 on the $3 entries and do 60. Then they have a dollar entry contest that still has good payouts. It's still like 10,000 to first or something, but you could do 20 of those, and then you could do, and this is what I would do is, if you were spending $100, you know how they have usually on the normal slates a 50-cent contest that's got like 15 grand to first.
Yeah.
What I would do, if this is the strategy I use, I'll tell you so I do the 20. They didn't have that 50-cent tournament the way I like it for the slate, because they're both small slates. But what I usually do every week throughout the regular season is I'll do 20 entries on the $3 one, 20 entries on the $1 one, that's 20 entry max, and then I'll do 40 entries on that 50-cent one. Because what you can do is you can make your 40 lineups for the $3 and the $21 ones, and then use those exact same 40 lineups on the 50-cent entry tournament. So you have two entries on each lineup. And then when you have one that's hitting, you edit one of the two lineups. You switch players remaining on them because you've hit so far. So that gives you twice as many odds. It doesn't matter if you win the tournament for 100 grand or if you win the tournament for 15 grand at first. If you win a tournament, you're getting paid. It costs you $100 to make basically 100 lineups, or 20, 40. So it costs you $100 to make 80 lineups, but you have 20 in one tournament, 20 in another, and 40 on another. All you need is one of those, 80 lineups by the time it's said and done. Because what'll happen is you'll get, like, say you did it for next week. Say you took your $100 next weekend and did it that way, you might have a lineup that's got, like, next weekend the slate's going to be a lot. It's going to be a weird slate next weekend because it's going to be condensed between Saturday and Sunday because there's only 4 games instead of 6 for them to do single days. Right. So, you think about it, if one of those lineups is hitting incredibly high by the time the last game's coming Sunday, and you have that lineup entered in either the $3 or $1 entry, but you have that 50-cent entry with it, take one of them and change them, because then you double your odds of, one of them hitting. I mean, yeah, you might not win. You could win both tournaments if your lineup hits, but you can still win one of them if you switch players from one or the other and double your odds. If you win the small one, the 50-cent entry only pays 15 or 10 grand at first, but if you put $100 in, you take that 10 grand you won, just put 3,000 of it aside for next year, and you could do 150 entries on the Millionaire Maker week 1, and still have $7,000.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's why I'm trying to hit one of these tournaments. Is I want to put like 5 or 6 grand away for next year. I want to be able to do, because the Millie Maker, you can spend 3 grand and do 150 entries.
Right.
And that's what Al does. That Al Smizzle, that's what he does.
That guy's an idiot.
Yeah, dude, that's so funny. I said that shit earlier, like I can't stand him. But
I like how he breaks down like the showdowns.
Well, we were just talking about like how they have the $3 entry that I guess a lot of us were playing today. Mm-hmm. What I'll do typically every week throughout the week for the normal slates is I'll do the 20 max, the $3 and the $1 entry. And have you seen the 50-cent entry tournament they have that's like 15,000 to first?
Yeah, I play that sometimes.
Take do 20 lineups on the $3 entry, do 20 lineups on the $1 because that's only $80 to have a good. take those 40 lineups and enter them on the 50-cent one. So you have 2 of all those. So you can do late swaps with them, and you have 3 different tournaments to have a chance to win every time. If one of your lineups hits, you have 3 different lineups to play with it in.
That's a good point.
But that's how you build the bankroll too. Because even if you only hit the 50-cent entry tournament, if you win it, it's 15 grand, and you've put $100 in.
Yeah.
Imagine if you win the 100,000 one. That's sick. But if you're going down to the last game of the week and it's like tomorrow and you got Juju Smith-Schuster left, you're like, oh, hell yeah. But if you had the 2, you'd be like, well, I'm going to put Claypool in this one and Juju in this one, so one of them hits. Because I was telling him today, my huge lineup I had that hit 188 points, or the one I had that had 184, I had 2 of them going into the last game that were the exact same thing, they were the exact same lineups verbatim, except one had DK Metcalf, one had Lockett in that spot. Like halfway through the day, I was like, this lineup's been perfect. So I'm going to put each receiver in one of them. So all of one of them has to do is hit.
Well, did you see might be some sort of special contest, the NFL 150K slant, $9, 2 times minimum cash.
That slant one is a fun tournament because you're going to win $18 off each cash out, no matter what, I guess.
Yeah.
And I need to look into that, because I always play the 100K to first or the dollars. I always do the same ones.
Do you ever play the multipliers?
Not so much. And it's stupid because I tell myself all the time, I really do it. Like, I make money at this. I tell myself I need to play cash games. I need to stick to cash because but it's no fun. It's not as fun as tournaments.
Yeah.
Like I was telling him while you were gone, man, I had a couple of weeks ago, man, I had a lineup where I had Aguilar and Gaskin in the lineup. And that was the game where they each had 70-yard touchdowns in the last 5 minutes, man. Like, it's so fun to watch that stuff. Cash games are cool. You could double your money, but, give me that $100,000 one time.
Right.
Like, and that's why I give that Awesemo guy shit. That dude's never won a Millie Maker.
No.
I think Al did. I think Al Smizzle won a Millie Maker.
Oh, jeez. See, every time that Alvin guy, he breaks down a showdown, he's like, okay, here's Big Ben, and then here's all of his wide receivers.
He's really good. He's really good. He's really good. That's exactly what he does.
Risky, but he might get a few points, and then does the same thing for the other team. And then he's like, here's my promo code for Fantasy Labs, 15% off. It's like, whatever, dude.
Yeah, I watched him he's on Roto Grinders, actually. Or maybe he's not anymore.
I think he's on Fantasy Labs.
He used to be on, because here on Roto Grinders, it used to have Al Smizzle for the value. They have value, conviction, core plays.
If you ever read through the comments on some of his videos, people ask him, like, hey, how do you feel about T.Y. Hilton? And he'll literally, he'll reply to most of them, but he'll be like, I don't give player advice. Like, that's up to you. It's like, whatever, man.
Yeah, that's just.
Yeah, he responded to one of mine. He was like, he said something like that too. I wrote in a comment. He was just like, this is how I run my show. I give the plays and I stick to them. I'm not gonna. I was saying, man, you should fade this player. Just putting it out there for everyone on his channel to see, just to give some help and tips.
Well, here we go. Okay, it looks like they updated ownership a little bit. Chubb went down. Chubb's only at 20% for tomorrow now.
I just don't. I think Steelers D is like a lock for me, but I feel like, I guess Mayfield could have a good game, like we were saying. I don't know, man.
Yeah, he could. I mean, I don't think the Steelers D is going to have a pick six or a touchdown or anything. I think they're the best defense scoring wise tomorrow. maybe the Saints, but yeah, I mean, everybody wants the Steelers. They're the second highest owned. The Titans are still the highest owned defense tomorrow, man. Do not play that cheap defense. Do whatever you got to do to get up to at least the Browns.
Yeah, I that's crazy. I won't play them now.
Well, they're so cheap, because all them people are thinking, well, I can play the Titans for $2,200 and then I can play another $7,000 receiver.
A lot of people are probably thinking that they could stack Henry with Titans D, and it's a good combination. That's what people want to do, probably.
And yeah, but those people don't realize that Henry has to get, 36 points tomorrow to be value. I mean, what are the odds Henry really gets 36 points? Maybe 20%.
Yeah, it's a reach.
I mean, I think Chubb and Hunt are coming in at the exact same ownership now. Chubb's 20.9, Hunt's 19.6. Everybody's playing Connor too.
Yeah, I kind of like Jake's take on Benny Snell. I could see Snell catching a passing touchdown.
Who, Benny Snell?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's had like 4 and 5 target games.
They could get him involved.
I mean, did they even use their other running back anymore? What's his name?
Jalen Samuel?
No, McFarland. They had that guy McFarland, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't use him.
Well, one of those two backups will probably be inactive. So.
The third was last. I mean, I might. You know what, guys? I might. You can win it. You could put Ingram in a lineup tomorrow.
No, I'm never playing Ingram again.
Dude, I get it, dude. But he's $4,000 on draft, and he had 9 carries for 40 yards last week.
You think they may try and get him involved?
I didn't realize he had 9 touches last week, man. Did you know he had 9 touches last week still? No. I know he hasn't played but he had 9 touches last week. He's only had more than that 3 times this year.
And they needed to win that game, so yeah.
But you think about it, and this might make a little bit of sense to you guys. J.K. Dobbins does not catch out of the backfield, and neither does Gus Edwards. What happens if Tennessee's winning and they have to bring in a pass catching back? Who's going to catch the ball out of the backfield they had that Justice Hill for a couple of. I don't think he'll be active tomorrow, will he?
No, they won't. I think it makes a lot of sense.
I would not have been on Ingram if I didn't realize that he had 9 touches last week, because he's 0.1% owned at $4,000.
He'll probably be like the sneaky showdown type guy to play. He's probably what 2K on there maybe, if that.
Yeah, he might. I wonder if this probably gives me showdown percentages too. I've never even looked at the showdowns. Let's see, Baltimore and Tennessee. It doesn't have ownership percentage up yet. It'll usually have them before the game, because I've noticed basketball show like ownership percentage like 2 hours before the games.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. Maybe I will look into some showdown. They got the showdown. They got ownership percentages for the early. Oh no, that was today's.
Yeah, but I love those showdowns. You can't go wrong with those.
Yeah, I should start playing them a little bit more. You guys doing the afternoon only tomorrow at all?
Oh, the 2 game? Probably not. Probably just stick to the 3 game and then some showdowns. That's what I like to do.
Yeah, I think that 3 game slate's going to be fun, man.
My buddy, so on the showdown slates, like, let's say for the Steelers game, they'll have like a second half only slate.
I've seen that. And in Missouri, they don't let us enter in a lot of those.
They're all small, like for like a $12 like a $12 entry, there might only be like 60 to 70 people in it. Like first place is $100. Like he usually gets like top 5. It seems like anytime he plays it or he gets like real close to it, kind of makes up for like not like fading Tom Brady or something. He's like, well, fuck, I'll just do second half only and just pick him again. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
try to like bounce back. At least get your cash back.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be Anthony Miller's projection went up, but his ownership didn't go up, EJ. It's at 6% still, but his projection went up. They're saying he's gonna be covered by PJ Williams. So who does that mean? Lattimore. Lattimore is gonna be on Robinson, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Lattimore is going to be on Robinson. Where's Jenkins? Is Janoris Jenkins hurt?
He's safety, isn't he?
Did they move him to safety? I thought he was
Yeah,
he was a quarterback when he was a Ram and a Giant, right? I don't even care that Marshawn Lattimore is playing against, or that Allen Robinson's playing against Marshawn. It's not like he's Mike Evans, man.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Evans can't catch a ball with Marshawn Lattimore on the field. Have you noticed that?
Oh, yeah.
He's played like 3 games against the Saints, and he has like 3 catches for 17 yards in his career.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, don't ever play Mike Evans against the Saints just because Lattimore it's all over like social media how bad he is against Lattimore, dude.
Yes, if the Saints win, it'll be Saints Bucks next week. So
oh gosh. Yeah, I'm still gonna play Robinson against Lattimore. I mean, how many targets you really think this guy's gonna get? 15? 20 maybe?
yeah, I mean,
what do you think about Jimmy Graham in this game tomorrow, man?
I don't know. Like I got a buddy, he's a diehard Packers fan, and he was telling me since Mooney's out that he wouldn't be surprised if they run more two tight end sets.
Have you seen how many red zone targets Jimmy Graham has had this year?
It's probably like 30%, maybe something high, probably.
It's 20. I think he's had 18 red zone targets this year. I know his red zone target share is like 22%. It's high. I mean, they really only go to Robinson in the red zone. It seemed like in Chicago. Yeah. But I like Jimmy Graham for the revenge narrative too. You know, like 3.3. If he gets 3 catches for 30 yards and a touchdown, he's got you 4 times value. But Allen Robinson's red zone target percentage on the Bears is 21. Jimmy Graham's is 22. Jimmy Graham's got the highest target percentage on the freaking Bears. Red zone target percentage. His is even higher than Allen Robinson. That would make me go to him even more. Not much, 1%, but that makes they're the only 2 guys. They're not going to throw Anthony Miller the ball in the red zone tomorrow.
No.
That guy's got 1 touchdown? It was on like a 40-yard pass from Nick Foles. I remember that.
Yeah.
That was in a comeback game, too. Where's Allen Robinson going to be next year, man? He going to be a Packer? Whew.
He should have been a Packer right now.
Oh,
I mean, somebody's going to be they were saying Marvin Jones might be a Packer or a Giant.
Oh, I don't know if I want Marvin Jones, but
I would like him better than Valdez-Scantling. At least he can come down with the ball. But like that's the only reason I'd rather have Lazard as the secondary than Marvin Jones still, because
you guys can take Sammy Watkins. He's on his last year.
Is he? He ain't gonna be back.
Oh fuck no!
I mean, McCole Hardman's gonna be. He's gonna have that spot next year.
I don't know.
There's some big. I wonder if Houston resigns Fuller.
Oh, if they don't sign Fuller, Watson's gonna get more pissed off at him.
I don't know. Wasn't there just something in the news about Watson getting traded?
Something about that, yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if it happens or not, but that'd be crazy.
Well, guys, I think I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna hit the rack pretty soon.
Yeah, no problem, man. I'm gonna probably smoke and go to sleep anyway.
Yeah.
All right, man.
You guys
Well,
have good luck tomorrow with your lineups, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
Later.
appreciate you jumping on, Dan. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, I'll jump on next time I see you up here. You too, man. Go Chiefs.
Yep.
Not against the Packers, but against anybody. I live in Missouri, so I like the Chiefs when they're on.
What part?
I'm in St. Louis.
What part of St. Louis?
South City.
Hey, Dan.
Yo.
Hey, Dan, can I add you on Facebook?
Yeah, it's Danny Williams Jr. You can both add me if you're on Facebook. It's really easy to remember. Danny Williams Jr.
All right.
I won't put it on the stream, but
yeah, don't put it on the stream, but you can add me on there.
Nah.
And my roommate from college, she's from St. Charles area.
Oh, that's where I work. Well, we're working from home now, so I haven't been to the office. And where do you live at in Kansas City?
I live up by the airport.
Yeah, I lived right by the airport off of, what is it, Tiffany Springs?
Yep. That's where my girlfriend works.
This is 10 years ago, but when I was 19, 20, 21, and 22, I lived in Kansas City by the airport, and then we got a place out we had a hood house in North City off Truman and 25th for a while, man. Woo!
Nope.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to hop off here too, guys. I'm going to roll me up one and smoke and pass the heck out.
Yep.
I'll mess with all this tomorrow.
All
right, is that you? Is it EJ Beelan?
Yeah, that's me. Wow,
cool, I got you, man.
All right, man.
All right, man. You guys be safe.
Yep.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you, Jake. See you, Dan.
Later.
See you, man. All right, guys, that was a lot of fun. We got a good 3-hour session in. I'm pretty beat, and actually, I learned a little bit more. It's gonna be you just gotta go with your gut instinct and continue to play the players that you like, and eventually, it's gonna pay off. You can't second guess some things, but Dan has a good point. Finding the right ownership is very important. I think that's something I want to start to key in on. So one thing we always do before we end the stream, we always do a yoga mindful breath. So wherever you're at, just come to a relaxed position, softly roll the shoulders down, softly close the eyes, and take a full exhale out. Find stillness. Try not to move. Rest your arms on your hands. Rest your hands on your knees. And try and take your thinking mind away. Breathe in through the nose. And let it out. Breathe in, deep inhale. Fill the belly with air. And exhale out the mouth. Take a deep breath in. Breathe in the players you really like. I think I really like Lamar Jackson. It's so hard to fade him. And breathe out. I don't want to play Derrick Henry. I just don't. Thank you, guys. I hope you all have a good rest of your evening and morning. Have a good Sunday.